OK, so we're all together until about 5 o'clock, and then Radio Sussex will have the build-up and commentary for the Seagulls in action against West Ham. They're looking to make it 9 points thus far this season. There's been a fair bit of movement at the top of the table today following the earlier games. Very convincing wins thus far for the Seagulls, though. Is this the first real test? They're up against the side who recently beat Chelsea, so I don't know. Let's see what Johnny... Because Johnny knows more about this sort of thing. I'm just blagging. You know that, Johnny.
Not at all. You're a professional. We all know that. I think it probably is their toughest examination of the season so far, Joe. They, of course, won the Europa Conference League last season, and they've got 4 points from their opening 2 games. And they're, in a confident mood, really. That good win over Chelsea. So it probably will be a tough test. But saying that, Albion have got a 100% record, albeit against 2 teams that are going to have their struggles this season in Luton and Wolves. But you've got to beat what's in front of you, haven't you? They were dealt a big blow this week with Julio Enciso, one of their star players who was excellent against Wolves, has been ruled out for probably around 4 months. So it'll be interesting to see whether they dip into the market in the next 6 or 7 days to find a replacement for him. I do have the team news. He is missing, so that means that Evan Ferguson gets his first start of the season. We're going to be hearing from him before kick-off here on BBC Radio Sussex. And Bart Verbruggen comes in for his Premier League debut for the Seagulls, replacing Jason Steele in goal. So Verbruggen in goal, Milner, Webster, Duncan, Estupinian is the back four. March, Gilmore, Gross and Mitoma, with Welbeck and Ferguson up front. That means that Facundo Buonanotte comes in as a substitute. As for the visitors, West Ham, was say from that side that beat Chelsea 3-1, they also make 2 changes. Their new signing Alvarez comes in for Said Benrahma, who drops to the bench, and Aguerd is suspended after his red card in that game. So he is replaced by Angelo Ogbonna. So they have their new guns in Alvarez. It'll be interesting to see. And of course, Lucas Paquetá, who is linked to a move to Manchester City, he also starts for the Hammers. You've got to say the record is fantastic against this side. Albion have not lost, Joe, in their last 12 games against the Hammers. 6 wins, 6 draws, and they're going to be looking to extend that again this afternoon. I might have just put the kibosh on it. You know what it's like, commentators curse and all that. But let's hope not. They're playing really attractive football. They're playing with a confidence. They've got a manager that demands 100%. So there's absolutely no reason. But they do have dangers. Antonio up front, very dangerous, strong, powerful. Jared Bowen pushing to be in the England squad. Paquetá, very. And they've also got James Ward-Prowse, who they signed from Southampton, who has a good record against the Seagulls. Very good from free kicks. He just needs one more to surpass David Beckham to score more direct free kicks in the Premier League than any other player. So he'll be a danger man as well. Yeah, definitely. And following the early kick-off, Tottenham have gone top because they beat Bournemouth 2-0. But if the Seagulls are victorious, then that will change again, won't it? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's goals flying in. We're in the latter stages of those 3 o'clock kickoffs, but I think it's a very confident Tottenham at the moment, playing really, really well indeed, beating Bournemouth by 2-0. Arsenal had a scare. They were 1-0 down after a minute against Fulham, but they're now 2-1 up. Brentford 1, Palace 1. I know the Seagulls fans like to know that one. And Man United, they were trailing by 2-0 in 4 minutes against Forest, but they now lead by 3-2 goalless between Everton and Wolves, which is probably no surprise with 2 sides that have really struggled at the beginning of the season. But all eyes for us on the 5:30 kick-off. As you say, Albion could go back to the top of the Premier League if they win this afternoon. All right, Johnny, with you from 5 o'clock with Warren for the build-up, or a little after the 5 o'clock news, and then kick-off at 5:30. Full commentary, of course, on Radio Sussex.
Hear every Albion game live.
BBC Radio Sussex Sport.
Yes, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to the Amex as the Seagulls aim to dazzle yet again after their electrifying start to the season. West Ham are the visitors today and the whole game is coming up live.
Following the Albion in the Premier League.
BBC Radio Sussex Sport.
Yes, the Seagulls looking to make it 3 on the bounce after another great win and a touch of magic from Mitoma.
Here comes Mitoma off the line. Good run into the box, through past the keeper. What a run! Stunning from Kaoru Mitoma. Afforded just a couple of yards of space, and he has punished the Wolves.
Johnny, I'm going to go for the early days. You never see a better individual goal probably this season. He's taken on 4 defenders of Wolverhampton one has gone through them, and 3 of them have grabbed him through around the waist. World class.
So a great start, but now a West Ham side who themselves have 4 points from a possible 6.
West Ham is a very good team. They won 3-1 against Chelsea, and you can imagine the quality of the West Ham. They have a lot of very good players, Antonio, Paquetá, but is a very tough game for us, very tough game for them.
More from Roberto and Evan Ferguson on the way. Let's get the headline team news from our match commentator, Johnny Cantor.
Well, we knew that Ferguson would replace Enciso. He told us that yesterday, Roberto De Zerbi. But a bit of a surprise as Bart Verbruggen makes his Premier League debut. He replaces Jason Steele, who drops to the bench. Facundo Buonanotte rejoins the matchday squad as a substitute. As for the visitors, they also make 2 changes. Their summer signing from Ajax. Edson Alvarez comes in for Said Benrahma, who drops in the bench, and we knew that Aguirre was suspended. As expected, Ogbonna replaces him.
Thanks, Johnny. Full match commentary from 5:30 with reaction in the final whistle from 7:30.
The home of the Seagulls.
BBC Radio Sussex Sport.
Yes, a very good afternoon and welcome to the Amex. I'm Adrian Harms as the players from both sides going through their warm-up routines on the pitch. It's a glorious afternoon here at the Amex. The rain that was around a little earlier is cleared away. Lots of blue sky above the stadium. A few clouds around, but I tell you what, it looks like perfect footballing conditions and the pitch looks immaculate as well. We've heard the headline team news from Johnny. A couple of surprises in there. Perhaps we could just go through the full team news before we have a chat to our summariser, Warren Aspinall.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Warren thinks about Bart Verbruggen coming in for Jason Steele. Roberto De Zerbi did say he was going to mix it up, and not just by competition in terms of Europa League and Premier League, so he gets his Premier League debut. In front of him it's unchanged: Milner, Webster, Dunk the captain, and Estupinian. Change in the midfield, well, no Enciso, bitter blow for him to be out for what we think maybe around 4 months at best. So in comes Evan Ferguson. He may go up top. Danny Welbeck may play just in behind. And then the substitutes, well, Steele, Julio, Dahoud, Pedro, Lallana, Adingra, Buonanotte, Veltman and Van Hecke. Looks like a strong bench for the Seagulls. As for the visitors, they have Areola in goal. 1 change at the back, enforced after that suspension for Aguirre. In comes Ogbonna to join Emerson, Zuma and Sofal. The 2 sitting midfielders, Souček and Ward-Prowse, with Alvarez, the new signing from Ajax, joining Paquetá and Bowen, supporting Mikel Antonio up front. Their bench is Fabianski, Creswell, Johnson, Fornals, Benrahma, Cornet, Ings, Mubama and Kera.
Johnny, thanks very much. Let's say a very good afternoon to our summariser as ever, Warren Aspinall. Warren, you look very well for your summer break, but I'm just wondering where the sweets are, because you're meant to bring sweets on a Saturday.
Armsy. Listen, you're like Judy Chalmers, mate. You never
Summer
eat.
break? We've been working for 6 weeks. Where have you been?
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay. Oh, I thought
He's probably been to France, Italy. Don't know, I think he's won the.
They say he's at the cricket, but I don't believe him.
I think he's won the lottery, hasn't he? and he brings us. Well, he hadn't brought him. A fan's giving him from the cricket. A bag of peanut raisins.
Look at that.
Between.
Look at that.
Well, he's not going to share them, is he? 'Cause
No.
you'll have 2 each and they're gone. You need to tell your mate, we need a big bag.
Well, it's good to see you both anyway. Great to be back at the Amex. What do you make of this change in goal, Warren? Because I think that's caught everybody slightly on the hop today.
Well, it caught me on the up, yes, because Jason Steele last week, again, just like the first game of the season, when under pressure, the Brighton team, he kept us in the game and kept it at 1-0. So when called upon, he's done his bit. I think it's just to give the new signing for Verbruggen minutes, just in case he is needed. And he did say the competition will be harder this season. He will exchange it. So I don't think he has been dropped, hasn't he? But it's not because of his form, that's for sure, because he's kept us in the first game. He kept us in the game with a great save, Eder, and then last Saturday as well, a one-on-one situation with Silva. So it's not through his lack of form. I think it's just to give the goalkeeper minutes on the pitch.
Having said it's called everybody on the hop, Johnny, it kind of hasn't. It hasn't really, because anybody who was listening to Albion Unlimited on Tuesday night would know from your chat with the goalkeeping coach that maybe there might be some changes.
Yeah, that interview with Jack Stern's still available if you want to catch it on BBC Sounds extended feature, and he did say Bart Verbruggen has come to play. He's an under-21s Dutch international. He's featured for the full side. a lot of clubs were like looking at him and chasing him as well. But Albion got the deal. It's a tricky one because you've only got one keeper in the team, so it's difficult. But I think Warren's right. You need to get him into the fold, get him involved, because otherwise you're waiting. Because Albion are in the Europa League, we don't join the League Cup till later on this season. So it means it's a longer period of time before he comes in and gets any minutes. So I think get him into the fold, have a look at him, see what he can do, build a bit of confidence, and then it's more competition for places. And now, to be honest, Albion have got it pretty much in every position.
So for me, that says all around the pitch, you're not safe, are you?
Yeah.
No matter who you are, maybe Lewis Dunk may be safe, and maybe Pascal Gross, but the rest, it's...
Well, it's a really interesting debate, that, Warren. Who is guaranteed a starting place? I think you're right, Dunk, Gross, and maybe Mitoma.
Yeah.
No one, and I probably would have said Steele a week ago.
Yeah, well, it is good though.
Well, I said about Webster coming back. He said, yeah, but what about Van Hecker? Maybe one week he does rest Dunk.
Yeah, but he's just saying, look, doesn't matter where you're playing on the pitch, I'm going to rotate it. And usually managers say, goalkeeper, he's my number one, he's my number two. Here we don't know who's number one, number two, because we haven't seen him. So we'll decide that. But it's like you say, he might play 2 games and taken out for the next game after that when international break comes along. So it's again, international break's coming up. But you might play the next 2. You might have told him, Luke, you play the first 2 games, you're playing the next 2 games, then we have an international break, then we'll decide.
The other player who's missing, Warren, due to injury, and I know you were waxing lyrical about him last week, is Julio Enciso. He's out 3-4 months. It looks like it's after Christmas. I know the Albion have got cover, but there has to be a blow because he's been in terrific form, certainly at Wolverhampton Wanderers last week.
Yeah, he started off, and Johnny said in the commentary, he set the pace, didn't he, at the defenders, closing them down, working hard, and in commentary as well, he took knocks for the team, got us up the pitch, slowed it down when he needed to be, won us free kicks in good areas of the pitch. And I was walking down from the car park with the chairman, and I was chatting to him, and I said, good start, chairman. He said, yeah, but he's bad injury to Enciso. I said, yeah, chairman, you might have to dip into your pocket. Anyway, don't say that one, and don't say that one. But yes, he knows how good of a player he is. But he said teams will just try to overprice for the players, so he's not daft a chairman. And if we need players up there, I think the manager said we might need a player as a striker option, as well, a number 10 option. So it's good, the chairman having a bit of a laugh and a joke, taking pictures with the fans. His mother was there with him and his son. So yeah, it's all in good spirit, but he's hoping for 3 points today.
One person we mustn't forget about is Adam Lallana, because he can play in that 10 role, and he came on for the last 10-15 minutes and he bossed things through. I know it's easy because you come on with 10 minutes and everyone else is knackered, but he actually showed what he's about as well, so he'll be able to play in that role. Pedro, different type of player, but he will be able to do that. He said he's still learning the Albion way at the moment. So I think he does have a few options in there. I actually asked him about Buonanotte, could he play as a 10? And he said, no, I see him as a winger. So that was quite interesting. So I still think he is pushing, obviously, this Carlos Baleba, who would be a like-for-like replacement for Moises Caicedo. Club haven't said anything, but they never do. Some talk about a possible breakthrough, 23 million quid for the 19-year-old from Lille. We'll have to wait and see. But I think also now they might just be pushing for an attacking number 10 as well.
Well, the kudos deal is gone, isn't it? Because he's gone to West Ham.
Yes, he has.
So
yeah, not available today. So yeah.
Well, one man who does play is Evan Ferguson, and after that breakthrough season, he's pushing to feature more this season. He's obviously playing today, and he's been chatting to the BBC's Kelly Summers.
Well, Evan, what a time to be a Brighton player. Best ever season last year, heading for Europe. Give me an insight into what it's like being at that football club.
Yeah, the club's in a good place at the minute. We want to build on what we've done last season, hopefully get a good start and just keep going.
I'm wondering what it was like growing up in your family, because your dad was a professional footballer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Dad used to play, Grandad used to play. Sort of everyone in the family is known to have played football, so I think it's just a big football family.
So there was no choice, you had to play?
Yeah, I was born into it.
Was it a case that from a very young age you realised, hold on, I've got a talent here, or it was a case that your dad was like, get out in the garden, we're going to make sure you're a footballer as well?
No, it wasn't my dad. He'd never put any pressure on me. I think it was more me. just like enjoying playing with the neighbours next door and all the kids around me, you know what I mean, just going out and playing.
And then you signed for Bohemians and you made your debut for the senior team aged just 14 against Chelsea.
I think you sort of noticed more afterwards what people were saying. Then I was like, oh, is that not normal sort of thing? Then I realised no, it wasn't. There's no pressure on you because no one's expecting anything out of a young kid, you get me? So just try to go out there and try to do something.
I imagine after that, your name was on a lot more people's lips in Ireland. Do you feel at that point people started to pay attention to what you could potentially do in the game?
I think so, yeah, but I think people also say like, oh, don't try to put as much pressure on him and see where he is in 5-10 years or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was more just them sort of comments.
And then moving on to last season then, when you had your breakthrough campaign, you had an injury during that campaign, you were largely restricted to performances off the bench, yet you still scored 10 goals.
Ferguson!
I think it was just a mad season. I was just getting chucked straight into it where we had to get results and we had to play well. So, no, I enjoyed it a lot.
This is a big star in the making.
Recently, Irish greats like Robbie Keane, they have compared you to Harry Kane. Do you understand those comparisons?
I'd take little bits out of his game, try to bring them into my game. I'd see why people say that we're sort of a little bit similar, but people are always trying to compare another person and them.
And as for the manager, Roberto De Zerbi, I read that he said he wants to make you one of the strongest strikers in Europe, and he believes that you can be that. How does that feel?
Yeah, I think there's a way to go, but if he can see it, then just have to believe him.
And in terms of long term, then, you must have an idea of what you want your footballing journey to look like.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, but I think it's hard to say now. Just see how this season goes, like a full season. Because last season was sort of only came in halfway. So see this season now with a full season, see how I get on, and then we'll see after that.
And I guess you couldn't really be in a much better place, could you?
No, I don't think so at this moment in time.
That's Evan Ferguson chatting to BBC's Kelly Summers. He starts today, Warren. Does that mean that the Albion have to play in a slightly different way? How different will it be with Ferguson instead of Enciso?
No, I think Ferguson maybe play the furthest man forward. I think Welbeck has shown he can come deep and pick the ball up and play as a number 10. Well, they'll interchange. I think they both can do it now. So it gives the opposition defenders a bit of a problem, doesn't it? If one's going short on the left-hand side, the centre-half has to go with him on the left-hand side, and they'll do it the same. And we're trying to create gaps to Solly March. He stayed out wide for about 15 minutes in the first home game, and straight away he went into the box and got ahead. He caught the full-back on the work, and that's what he has to do. He has to work the full-back, even when he's not got the ball. Make him run inside, make him run outside, make him question the full-back. Can you keep an eye on the ball for 90 minutes? And it'll be good if Solly March can score today. I'll be the first person to do that, to score 3 goals in the Premier League on the trot.
Wow, terrific. I just wonder, obviously unfortunate the Enciso injury, Johnny, but do you think Ferguson might have played today anyway? We talked about the goalkeeper coming into the side. Do you think Roberto might have wanted to get Ferguson involved anyway?
Yes, I think he would. I think it might, but I think Enciso would have kept his place because he played that well. What he said about Ferguson, and he said it about Pedro, he says, you can't just be a big number 9 who sits up there and links up, and everyone has to work hard in a De Zerbi team. And Evan Ferguson is no different, but he's very cleverly working everybody in, getting everybody involved early in the season. I mean, we've got the first international break. I think he'll probably want everybody out on the pitch at some juncture. Lallana came on, Beltman's come on, Van Hecker's played, Webster's played. I think he needs to get everybody involved because he needs everyone on the bus together this season, because when we hit 3rd week of September, it's going to be crazy. League Cup, Premier League, Europa League, there's going to be injuries, possible suspensions, because everyone's getting cards at the moment, like they're handing it out like confetti. So I think, definitely a case of getting everybody together. Everybody knows, as Warren said, you're not going to play every game. You need to take that on board, because if you know that and you're happy with it, great, you're with us. But I think Ferguson is a crucial player, and I think also he needs to keep playing because he's got to get those minutes under his belt. We talked about that. He needs to play more minutes to learn the game a bit more, and then you never know, he may be pushing to be the next Danny Welbeck, to be the name on the sheet as a number 9.
I think Johnny's right, because NCC would have definitely started today, because like you said, and I think it would have brought Ferguson in for Welbeck.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But Walker got a chance now today. But Ferguson, again, another player who needs minutes before this European competition, because they come thick and fast, don't they? 2 games in September, I think there isn't there 2.
There's 1 in September, then straight through October, straight through November, and into December. And then December in the Premier League is crazy as well. I think there's 10 games.
Yeah.
So, so they'll be wary of that. I mean, obviously, like they have a few people have gone out alone. I did ask De Zerbi about Buonanotte, whether he might stay now. I think they might need a few numbers in there, because obviously Andy Moran has gone now to Blackburn, so that's another one that's gone out. Obviously Sarmiento's gone out. There's quite a few players that have gone out the door, really, but we've still got 6 days to go, though, so you never know. Obviously Baleba is one, Fabrizio Diaz is another one that's been mentioned as well. So, I think there's still a few things going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think there'll be additions, definitely.
I think 2, probably.
Yeah.
Well, keep right across BBC Radio Sussex as we bring you the last week of the transfer window. Full match commentary of the Albion v West Ham is live from 5:30 with Johnny and Warren. Last time here at the Amex, the Seagulls did the business against the Hammers.
Following the Albion in the Premier League.
BBC Radio Sussex Sport.
Hear every Albion game live.
March drives the ball across the pitch to Mitoma. Johnson misses it. Mitoma's into the box. Brought down there by Bowen, and it's a penalty. Here's McAllister then. He's already scored 3 penalties this season. Right-footed into the top left-hand corner, and the Seagulls lead by a 1-0. Here's Bowen with the chance. Left-footed, good save by Steele, using his feet there. Here they come again, Ben Rama. This time to Soucek, tightish angle. Again saved by the feet of Jason Steele. Glancing header from McAllister, and it's chested in by Joel Veltman. One of the most unlikely scorers for the Seagulls. And Albion double their lead. Andrea Maldera raises his fists up to the director's box behind us. That's where Roberto De Zerbi is sitting, and that's where he'll be smiling. Chance for March wants to get on his left foot, back onto his right, shifts it across there. Chance for Groves, tees it up. At the back post is Mitoma. What a finish to a wonderful move. The Albion are purring at 3-0 here against West Ham United. Here's Welbeck, edge of the box, right-footed. There you go, they're all getting in on the act. The substitute, Danny Welbeck, makes it Brighton Hove Albion 4, West Ham United 0. Their amazing record against the Hammers continues. It's been an excellent performance from the word go right until the end. Scintillating football from the Seagulls.
Following the Albion in the Premier League.
BBC Radio Sussex.
The home of the Seagulls.
BBC Radio Sussex Sport.
Well, that was last season at the Amex when the Albion won 4-0. There were 2 midfielders on display in that game, Warren. Moises Caicedo, Declan Rice. Neither of them playing today. Both of them have gone for £100 million. But that was a game where Caicedo dominated Rice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and McAllister, who scored, didn't he, as well? But just going away from the football, these new lads at Brighton, I think they've got the new suits and new collar and ties now. They look very smart, sat behind us. I'll tell you what, they could be modelling down at I would say Crufts lads.
Well, they totally do look very smart through the media team here at the Albion. Johnny, just sum up West Ham very briefly, because since they've been here last, they've won a European trophy. They have strengthened a little bit, and it looks like more reinforcements on the way for West Ham as well.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Alvarez starts today, really good player. Some talk about the fact that, there's a little bit of disquiet between Moyes and the new technical director, Tim Staden. But some players have gone as well. Lanzini's gone, Scamacca's gone. So they've lost a few players as well. But if they keep hold of Paquetá and have Alvarez, that's a big boost. And of course, Mohamed Kudus, who reportedly was a target for the Seagulls as well. He's on his way to West Ham as well. So, I think they look quite strong, actually. There's a bit more competition, and they'll be in the Europa League with the Albion.
I think Paquetá, the betting scandals stopped anybody signing him, because if he is found guilty, he could get banned for 6, 8 months, 9 months, a bit like Ivan Toney. So nobody's going to take that risk, are they? So I think that's but like you said, David Moyes, the momentum from last season from winning that trophy, So take it into the season, 4 points out of 2 games. A good win last week against Chelsea, which probably with only 10 men, and only having 24% possession. I said in the podcast, possession doesn't win you football games. Ward-Prowse on his debut, 2 assists. You can't ask for more than that. He's in hero now with them fans.
Well, he certainly is, and that's something Albion will be very wary of today. So that's Warren and Johnny's thoughts on West Ham. Let's hear from their coach Roberto De Zerbi giving his thoughts on today's opponents.
West Ham is a very good team. They won 3-1 against Chelsea, and you can imagine the quality of the West Ham. They have a lot of very good players, Antonio, Paquetá, but it's a very tough game for us, very tough game for them. We have a big motivation. We have to keep playing well last week, and we want to win.
Well, Brighton have got a very good record against them in terms of the last few matches they played. That must give you confidence.
Yes, but the record after 2 games is not real record, no. I think we could score more goals. We could don't concede 2 goals, set pieces, and 1 penalty and 1 set pieces, but we can improve. We are working to improve. We have to forget the results, and we have to push, because we are building a new season. We are changing something in terms of balance on the pitch, and we have not finished the development. No.
I just wanted to pick up on one of the things you said there, set pieces. That's something that West Ham are quite strong on, especially with James Ward-Prowse and the delivery he's got.
Yes, and it is a big challenge, and it's important for us to defend in a right way, to attack in a right way, but keeping the balance. We can't lose the balance. We have to keep the focus, to don't concede counter-attack, and to keep the right behavior to score more goals possible.
Here we go then, the 2 teams come out. It's Albion against West Ham in the sunshine at the Amex. Albion looking to make it 3 wins in 3 at the start of the season. Great start to proceedings. Albion then looking to maintain their 100% record so far this season and continue this astonishing record against West Ham. They haven't lost in their last 12, 6 wins and 6 draws. Roberto De Zerbi makes 2 changes. Bart Verbrugge makes his Premier League debut for the Albion, and Evan Ferguson replaces the unfortunate Julio Enciso. Verbrugge in goal, Milner, Webster, Duncan, Estupinian is the back 4, March, Gilmore, Welbeck, Gross and Mitoma behind Evan Ferguson, who gets his first start this season. Steele's on the bench, along with Igor, Dahoud, Pedro, Lallana, Adingra, Buonanotte, Veltman and Van Hecken. There's also 2 changes for West Ham. Alvarez replaces Ben Rama and Ogbonna in for the suspended Aguirre. So Areola in goal, there's no Fabianski, he's on the bench. So Areola takes the gloves this season. So Fowl, Zuma, Ogbonna, Emerson in a back 4. The sitting midfielders of Souček and Ward-Prowse. And then Alvarez, Paquetá and Bowen behind Mikel Antonio. As for their substitutes, Fabianski, Creswell, Johnson, Cornels, Benrahma, Cornet, Ings and Mubama and Thilo Kehrer. Our referee today is Anthony Taylor. Our VAR official is David Coote. Roberto De Zerbi mentioned James Ward-Prowse there, Warren. How big a threat is he today?
Well, we know what his delivery is like from set plays, don't we? We saw that last weekend. We've seen it in the past for Southampton here. Any free kicks around the 18-yard box, he's put them in the top corner at both ends of this stadium. So it's going to be a big worry for us if that's the case. But can Billy Gilmore boss him? That's what you need to do. You need Billy Gilmore and Pascal Gross to boss Souček and Ward-Prowse. Can we push him back? I don't think Souček wants to do the tracking back, if I'm really honest. So can Pascal Gross make runs off him? Ward-Prowse, if he gets on the ball, he can dictate. But we need to stop that. We need to get after these two centre-backs though, Johnny, for me.
Yeah, that does look like the weakest link really, with Zuma and Ogbonna perhaps, but it's going to be Albion to kick us off. Evan Ferguson standing over the ball on the halfway line, and Albion been playing from left to right, attacking the south stand in this first period. Anthony Taylor just checks with the two keepers. Albion in blue and white stripes, blue shorts and blue socks. West Ham in their familiar claret and blue, with claret and blue hoop socks this season. Their home strip. We've had 4 seasons in one day today, but it's sunshine now. Rain came down earlier, so there should be plenty of zip on the surface as Albion get us underway. Estupinian on the left to Mitoma, lots of Mitoma flags here today, draped around the shoulders of some of those fans, and immediately he's on the attack. Looked like he was fouled there, and a West Ham player's gone down injured. Seemed to fall awkwardly. And, well, it's interesting, wasn't it? Because it was an early positive run from Mitoma, but an early stoppage.
It's just like the one last season, didn't it? When Mitoma got the ball, came inside, and Jalabol tracking back pushed him over for the penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that Alvarez, their new signing, he's playing as an older midfield player just in front of the back two.
Yeah, that's interesting because he actually likes to get forward as West Ham send the ball out of play for a throw.
But that'll license for Souček to get forward to support Antonio.
Yes, in the past he has looked sometimes a little bit isolated as Albion take a tight throw and then they lose it. So West Ham will have a throw level with the penalty area down the West Ham right. Get a little cuddle from Gibbo behind us there. Throw for West Ham then. A minute played here on BBC Radio Sussex. Up comes Ogbonna and Zuma into the box. Antonio's a threat too, as it's a long distance, and there is a flick to the back post, chance for a shot, and it's just over the bar. Well, Paquetá, outstretched left leg, couldn't get over the top of it. Goal kick.
And it's a let-off, isn't it, that? Zuma's gone forward. I think Danny Welbeck's tracked him back, but Zuma's got the free header, flicked it on. Just caught me surprised that Kufel's got a long throw like that. I'm sure it'd have been in the stats though, what the players have been given. Kufal can.
Well, it is an interesting dynamic, isn't it? Because with Ogbonna coming into the scene, they do have a fair bit of height, don't they? Zuma as well. Antonio, Souček is dangerous in the air too.
What they do, West Ham out of possession, they're very organised. David Moyes gets them organised, isn't he? 2 banks of 4.
Yes, they certainly do. Applause from Roberto De Zerbi as Ferguson drops deep and goes back to his captain, Lewis Dunk. Third of the pitch in sunshine over in front of the East Stand as it drifts into shadow as Webster takes charge. Trying to drill it down through the channel, blocked by James Milner, doing some good work in there at right back. Now Gilmore cushions it back to Milner, looks to turn, trying to get Albion forward, and off goes Pascal Gross. Ogbonna's gone with him, facing his own goal line, and Gross will be quite happy for him to have possession there by the corner flag. Then he squeezes out for a West Ham throw.
It's not bad that from Milner though, wasn't it? Playing short, then he just nicked one in the corner. Emerson squeezed up to Mark March. There's a big gap in behind him. Pascal Gross made a good run.
Yeah, throw for the West Ham up the line. There is March, his first contribution. Falls to the other number 7, James Ward-Prowse. Down the left is Antonio. Looked like he might have gone out of play, but the referee has given a free kick. Foul by Lewis Dunk, who's frustrated there. He felt the ball had gone out of play, but the referee's assistant on the near side may have been blocked off. But I don't think either of the managers were in their way. And we'll wait and see.
Well, it's not been out of play. You're clutching at straws there, aren't you, really?
Yeah, I think so. It is a free kick. And West Ham are taking their time over it. David Moyes just takes a glug of water in the tracksuit today. Roberto De Zerbi in his familiar All Black. Andrew Cross just having a word there with the fourth official, Sam Allison. And we know he's going to take the free kick, don't we? James Ward-Prowse, who needs just one more direct free kick to surpass David Beckham in terms of the most from a direct free kick in the Premier League. Got a wonderful right foot. It's 3 yards in from the near side. Whipped into the edge of the box. Header away there by Webster. There's a foul in there by one of the West Ham players. And Albion could rebuild. Well, they don't want to be giving away free kicks.
Yeah, in stupid areas there. We don't know how direct it is. So, I don't know what the situation is there. Just hold him. Keep him there. You don't need to give a free kick away.
Oh, Dunk has it now, trying to invite Antonio towards him, but West Ham quite content to just sit back, and that may be a problem for Albion as Milner pushes Dunk a little bit wide on the left. It's a little bit scrappy there, but now here's Mitoma trying to find Estupinian. Dunk across to the right hand side to Webster. Webster now feeding it into the middle. Ferguson finding a pocket of space. Gilmour onto Estupinian. Curls it left-footed, trying to get Mitoma underway down towards the corner flag as he gives chase. And it's not quite out of play, but there's a maybe it has gone. Anthony Taylor was there. It might have been a foul anyway by Mitoma there on Sofal.
Just a bit of misunderstanding there from Estupinian and Mitoma, wasn't it? Mitoma wanted it to his feet. Estupinian wanted him run behind.
Yeah, so a goal kick to West Ham United. Relatively slow start to the game. 5 minutes gone, 0-0. BBC Radio Sussex this tea time. Some big score lines elsewhere. Arsenal 2, Fulham 2, maybe a little bit of a surprise, but Fulham are a decent side as Ward-Prowse heads it on now to Paquetá. Paquetá in behind, Antonio gets there first, shoots, and a save, and a comfortable save of Bart Verbrugge. That'll do him a world of good. Didn't really have to do too much, came straight at him, but good to get your hands on the ball as a goalkeeper making your Premier League debut.
It's great vision. Paquetá there, just slipped him in there. He knew where Antonio was running. That shouldn't be allowed there. Got in behind Webster far too easy.
Yeah.
But he's been on his stronger foot. It's going to be a different story. He's on his weaker foot, his left foot. 2
chances already then for the West Ham strikers. Paquetá is playing slightly on the left, sometimes in the middle.
You see what they're trying to do though, Johnny. They're trying to congest the pitch.
Yeah.
Very organised. We have to break it. Break the press.
Yeah, maybe go wide at times. This is Estupinian from the left, coming into the middle. Here's Gilmour. Feels like there's 15 players in front of him, but he's got it to March. March on the right, 5 yards outside the box. Eases it back to Gilmour. He'll dink it to the back post. Mitoma ducks underneath it. Still hasn't gone out of play, so Foul beats him to it and gets possession. Now he tries to send it up the line. Now we get possession back through Pervis Estupinian. A little bit better from the Albion there, starting to string a few passes together for the first time in the game.
Yeah, and if they want to play like this, West Ham is going to be ever so hard working, shifting from left to right, right to left. That's what we have to keep doing. You have to be patient in games like this.
That is the key word, isn't it? Former Seagull striker Warren Aspinall with us on BBC Radio Sussex, as always, home of the Albion on your BBC local radio station. Milner decides to just roll it back to Verbrugge. Signed in the summer, and needs to have a good look at him. I'm sure Steele will be disappointed not to be starting, but certainly want a clean sheet. 2 good chances for the visitors so far. They are sitting back now. Mitoma in possession, 5 yards in from the left touchline. 15 yards inside the West Ham half. Gilmour spreading it high across the pitch, but it's too high for Solly March and out for a throw.
I think that passes on though. If they want to do it early, Johnny, I think Webster's had it on a couple of occasions. He needs to be confident in his own ability, but especially the cross-field pass from Webster to Mitoma. Koufel's just squeezing in a little bit. Yes. Too much for me.
Yeah, well, March, who's had such an electrifying start to the season. Albion's top scorer with 3 already. Some talk about possible England call-up. Faces a lot of competition in attacking areas, but he's getting to the ball now through the legs of Emerson onto Gross. Gross tries the back heel, blocked there by Ogbonna. Out of play it goes for an Albion throw, level with the penalty area. It's a little bit better there. March getting on the ball. Now Gross to March. It's all a bit tight, but they're giving it away, and Ward-Prowse plays it up to Antonio. Webster goes in. Nice and tight there on Mikel Antonio. Good defending there.
That's good play from Webster. It's strong enough, Webster, to have a battle with him. He wants a physical battle. I think Webster's there to match Antonio.
Well, he does like to back in Antonio, doesn't he? Now don't spread that ball across to March. That's better. It's come early. What can March do now? Oh, totally took his eye off the ball, and Paquetá accepts the gift. Takes it wide, up the line. Webster in again quickly. Milner now. Nice back heel to try and find Webster, but he's out of position now, and Antonio scoops it up over the top of Gilmour. Shows a lot of it there to Dunk. He breezes past him. Antonio's still going, wants to get it onto his right foot. Brilliant defending from Estupiñán. Held him up, didn't commit the foul. Now he's having a little nibble. Antonio goes to the byline. That's gone out of play as he crosses into the side netting, which gives a brilliant cheer from the North Stand, who applaud Pervis Estupiñán. He got Albion out of a little bit of a hole there.
Well, yeah, he did. He left Gilmour, and he went to skip and Lewis Dunkson dive in there, but the pace of Estupiñán coming across was unbelievable, and then had the ability to hold Antonio up, shepherd him out, and he's overrun the ball. Antonio, great play from Estupiñán. But two occasions now, Lewis Dunk's dove in.
Yeah. Time it right. They're trying to get tight on Antonio, but a couple of times he's got in behind. Milner's gone down on the right. He's trying to get in behind Emerson. Off he goes, chasing towards the corner flag. Emerson comes across and sends it into Rosed. Down by the corner flag, it'll be a throw. I did ask Roberto De Zerbi about Pervis Estupiñán's form on Friday. He said he's a crucial player for us, but he still has more to learn. He's acting such demanding standards, Roberto De Zerbi. Here's the throw. Milner into the byline. Ferguson holding it up, two around him, and a play for a corner. Good hold-up play there by the Republic of Ireland international.
Yeah, first of all, I like the pass from Lewis Dunk there. Lewis Dunk over the top for Milner to run. He put it right in the corner there. Emerson had to kick it out of play. We took the throw and took it quick, and Ferguson held it up and got us a corner.
Well, talks about set pieces plenty of times. Albion have their first corner of the game, coming in this the 12th minute. Gross is going to take it from the right. Areola poised in his 6-yard box. He may come and claim. There'll be an outswinger from the German. He curls it 6-yard box, and it is headed clear by Souček. On by Bowen. Gilmour leaves that one for Estupiñán to steer it back to his keeper. Good work there by Billy Gilmour. Just blocked off the runner, doing his job.
Just watching now West Ham were marking there. They weren't marking man for man, they was marking the 6-yard area. So they're marking space.
Well, here's Milner got into a bit of space, tries to turn it around on the edge of the box, spins back to Solly March. Perched quite high on this right-hand side, James Milner, at the moment. You know, of course, played much of his football in midfield, so you know he likes to get forward. Itoma getting forward on the left, two defenders in front of him. Bowen's there, pulls it back. Estupiñán's cross, back post, March across the face of goal. Hook clear there by O'Connor. Nice work there by Solly March. He scored from a header, and that was a good ball across the area. Now he's won a throw. It comes off Paquetá. Good build-up play, building a bit of momentum here, Albion.
If we're going to have a bit of judgment, I think it's going to be down the left-hand side anyway. The left-hand side with Solly March and Milner, because Paquetá doesn't want to track back, does he? He's a luxury player.
No, he might do it first 10-15 minutes, but
now, John, what are we, 12 minutes in the game, he's thinking, not again.
Yeah, and March will keep running all day long. He's worked on his fitness. Milner to March now. He's 3 yards in from the touchline. Milner goes in behind, but March has just breezed past Paquetá. Now he swings it in. Good, dangerous cross, and it's headed away by Zuma. Shouts from the West Ham crowd in the South Stand. Paquetá does well to flick it away, but he's gone down there under a bit of pressure, holding his face. I think he's feeling that Solly March may have raised a hand, perhaps.
Again, he'll be soon back on his feet. He's trying to get a free kick for his team.
I tell you what, he looks like he's blowing a bit. He might want a little bit of respite.
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want to track back.
Was it Milner, was it?
He's not even caught his face.
Oh, my Lord. It's his chest. He's put his hand on Paquetá's chest, and he's gone down holding his face.
That's where VAR have to look at that, can't they? And give a little whisper into Anthony Taylor's ear and say, look, he's just done this.
Well, it's an interesting one. I
on
wonder
him.
at half-time, is there a case for that being done at half-time, perhaps, you know? Well, here's Webster trying to get Albion forward again. March once more. Has caused problems for Emerson in the early stages. 14 minutes gone. Still goalless on BBC Radio Sussex. They've yet to really test Areola in the West Ham goal. They have had chances themselves. Antonio with an easy shot. And also Paquetá, who blasted over the bar after a header from Zuma. Nice ball by Webster to get it to the left touchline. Here's Estupinian. So foul, just marking Mitoma. So Welbeck's come short, plays it to Gilmour. Gilmour square to Milner. Milner switching it over to the right. Pascal Gross, glaring orange boots of his, back in field. Welbeck starting to get more involved. Starved of any real opportunity in that congested area in the middle of the pitch.
What we're doing, Jimmy, we're moving them, aren't we? We're making them work hard.
Yeah. Just about to be a case of grinding them down, mightn't it?
Just needs one of their players, lack of concentration.
Yeah.
Switches off, and then you're in.
Well, he's scored in the last 3 Albion games against West Ham United, Danny Welbeck, so we're looking for another today. He made a good run through the middle, but Gross has instead decided to go on the diagonal to Estupinian. He's inside the box onto his right foot, pulls it back, chance for Gilmour, he hits it. Oh, misses it just wide. Lovely little layoff to the Scottish international. He drove it with the outside of his right boot, but just the wrong side of the post.
Great pass from Pascal Gross. Estupinian failed to go on the outside, came inside. And it's have enough bend on it that he's driven it, but it's gone dead straight. When you want them dead straight ones to go dead straight, they don't, do they? They always bend away.
Yeah.
This time it stayed there.
Yeah, shame, but good to see Billy Gilmour bearing down on goal there. Free kick, Albion will have it inside their own half. It's another area of the game. I mean, Solly March, Roberto De Zerbi said, I want 15 from you, I want 15 from Mitoma. The likes of Gilmour, Gross, Dahoud, they're all going to have to contribute.
15 on the winger.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Has that ever been done?
Well, it's just that every time you talk to him, he just sets that bar that little bit higher, doesn't he? No matter what it is. Here's Estupinian. Feeds it into the middle. Ferguson, it was powered into him, and he tried to just cushion it into his own path, but it goes through to Areola, asking quite a lot there to kill that one dead. It was just around the sort of knee height, which is never easy to defend and get control. Long throw out by Areola. Milner's in behind. Emerson pushing him. It was lobbed back by Milner onto the chest of Bart Verbruggen. Composed there, gives it the thumbs up.
Verbruggen is probably a bystander for the last 10-15 minutes, isn't he?
Yeah, he just had to make that one save from Antonio in this first quarter of an hour. It was a relatively tame effort. See, I mean, everyone talks about what he's like with his feet, but he made some crucial saves for the Netherlands in the under-21s Euros.
Centre half trying to push forward and take the ball forward. It's going mad.
Yeah, De Zerbi's irate on the sidelines there.
Now you have to take it forward, Webster.
Yeah.
Carry it.
Just drifting it into the West Ham half, and it comes back by Milner to Dunk. Dunk to the touchline on the left. Mitoma, off goes Estupinian, but Mitoma's lovely little weaving run on that left-hand side. Now he plays in, and Estupinian, so foul slides in. Was it Bowen maybe on that far touchline? It's gone out of play. Estupinian's gone down in front of the West Ham fans, and Albion win it back.
I think Mitoma though, Johnny, I think he has to just carry on taking them on, doesn't he? He's beaten 2 players. I think he's given Estupinian a lot to do there.
He's taken it away from goal as well, which makes it easy for West Ham, who are guarding their penalty area manfully in this opening 20 minutes or so.
I think this is what we have to do, Johnny. 2 wide players, or the full-backs who are getting forward, have to stay touchline wide, make the pitch big.
Well, there will be teams that will come to frustrate Albion, sit behind the ball, and you probably guess that West Ham would be one of them. Of course, they don't have the creative guile of Julio Enciso. Webster's pass is cut out by Ward-Prowse outside of his right boot. The former Southampton player sends it up the line. Webster. Oh, Verbruggen didn't come and Antonio's onto it, waiting for help. Would he go for goal? No, sizes it up. Ward-Prowse, close range, tucks it away. A mistake at the back, and Ward-Prowse fires home from close range. 18 minutes gone, and Albion trail by a goal to nil.
Well, it's against the run of play, that's for sure, isn't it? Just an awful ball down for Antonio to run onto. Webster's the favourite, and he's had a back pass and it's under it. I think Lewis Dunk has to come across, has to stop it a little bit earlier. And Ward-Prowse has made a run, hasn't he? You need to follow Ward-Prowse. He's initially played the ball down the line.
Yeah, maybe there was a safe option. Antonio waited and waited. He went with his left foot and ended up with a pass to himself, Ward-Prowse.
It's come off Lewis Dunk's back, hasn't it?
A bit of misfortune, a little bit of indecision in the build-up as well. Yeah, because it comes off his back, it cushions it. And so he's got time to get to the second ball, Ward-Prowse. It's
Billy Gilmore's back, I think it's come off.
Just not what Verbruggen wanted at this stage, coming in on your Premier League debut, but as you say, it hits the backside of Billy Gilmore, loses the momentum, but it just plates it on a plate for James Ward-Prowse. Well, it's totally against the run of play, so Albion will be looking to find a response. Mitoma over down by the left corner flag, trying to put pressure on Sofal, comes back for Estupinian, short touch for Gilmore, already had one shot, thought about another, but he's covered it into Welbeck. Nice turn from Ferguson, good save by Areola. Lovely little swivel from Evan Ferguson. Welbeck involved in the build-up and nearly an immediate response from the Albion.
Yeah, Mitoma getting on the ball, Gilmore driving for one of them passes from last week. Johnny, don't watch the eyes. Good spin and turn from Ferguson, just couldn't get it into the corner. Good save for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, did really well, Evan Ferguson. Areola saved. Preferred to Fabianski this season, and that decision justified. He's already made a penalty save this season for the Hammers. Did he have a little bit more time, Warren? I mean, it's a lovely little back heel, wasn't it, to set himself up. Gross flicking it onto Ferguson now. He's trying to stride into the box on the right side. Lays it off neatly to March. Looking to go onto his left foot. Gilmore again, outside the area. Drags it across to Estupinian. Estupinian, lofted ball towards Mitoma. He hits it first time into the ground and into the advertising hoardings. Goal kick. Heading towards the midway point of this first half. It's Albion 0, West Ham 1.
Well, just up the tempo a little bit, aren't we? Moving the ball in the final third. Billy Gilmore's getting on the ball quite a lot now. Good movement there from Mitoma. Went short and wanted it over the top. Got it over the top. Poor end product from him on this occasion. You have to keep going. You have to be patient, and you're working ever so hard.
They will create chances. There's no two ways about it. Comes off Mitoma on halfway. Throw for West Ham over on the far touchline into the east stand, which is bathed in sunshine. You can see some of the fans with their hands over their eyes, just blocking out the sunlight. It's back there to Areola. Hits it first time. Right-footed. Dunk is underneath it. Good strong header from him. Trying to get it forward to Welbeck. Away by the man in the middle. And on there. Nice spin and turn by Bowen. Getting it onto his right foot. Now clips it across the goal, but Dunk is there. And he's giving it straight back to him. And it's on his left foot. Curls it in there. And this time Dunk heads it away. A bit careless at the back there again, offering West Ham opportunities. Bowen getting involved. Now he's laid it off for Sofal with a cross. In comes Milner to head it clear to the edge of the box. Gilmore challenges there with Ward-Prowse. Estupinian finding Gross. 10 yards outside his box. Goes back to his keeper.
Then 50-50. They would everyone, didn't they, West Ham there? Got the momentum. When they go forward, they're working ever so hard, without the ball and with the ball. Getting men forward, aren't they, as well, to support Antonio.
You just wonder how long they can survive as Paquetá goes in on Milner. The referee's blown his whistle. Ward-Prowse joins the party there. The referee's whistle couldn't really be heard. Milner having a word with the fourth official. Great competitor, isn't he, James Milner? Shakes his head in disgust. Albion have the free kick. Well, now they've got their lead, I think they'll probably be even more negative, West Ham, but dangerous on the break, of course. Lost their key talisman, Declan Rice, in the summer, that big money move to Arsenal for over £100 million, but they did bring in Alvarez from Ajax. Was actually a centre-back, moved to centre midfield. That's where he's playing, just in front of the back four at the moment.
Bad challenge that from Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse with a very strong challenge on Gilmour. Anthony Taylor,
I think he's taking his time.
Yeah, I think he's going to go out with a yellow card, but it of course could be checked. First caution of the game goes to James Ward-Prowse, the goal scorer.
He knows what he's done, James Ward-Prowse.
He looks away, doesn't he? He's got that forward front look as he slides in on Gilmour.
I think it's a yellow card.
Yeah.
It's not a red.
A little bit like the McAllister one, actually, which he got a red card for that was then rescinded. And here's a free kick. Centre of the pitch. In the middle of the West Ham half. Gross, the favourite. March is pinned on this right-hand side in space. And it's quite straight, not much of an angle for Gross. Usually someone just touches it off to him and he can get the ball rolling in open play. So let's see what happens. Pascal Gross still looking to become Albion's top Premier League goal scorer. Still on 26, tied with a certain Glenn Murray and Neil Maupay. He has laid it off to Gilmour. Gilmour back to Gross, back to Gilmour. Now down the left it goes. Estupiñán, 4 to pick out in the middle, whipped in. Dunk is in there, comes off his shoulder, and it's headed away by Emerson. Paquetá nods it on. And Pascal Gross just plays it back inside his own half.
He has to go forward there, Pascal Gross, doesn't he? Oh, he's closing down with his options on Solly March.
Yeah, trying to go back, but now they're going forward. It's Estupiñán again. Now lofted forward by Gilmour to find Milner. Milner pulls it back. It's Welbeck who tries to turn. It comes back for Gilmour. He drives it into the box. It took a deflection. Out of play it goes. Out for a corner. Reluctant to pull the trigger there.
Yeah, good play from Danny Welbeck there. Get the ball at his feet, showed his strength. Slid it back off to Billy Gilmour to get his shot away. Got us a corner. 25 minutes gone.
Yeah, let's hope that they can test Areola, who's not really had to make a save in the game so far. Gross is going to take it from the right. Arm up in the air, whips it in, away from goal. Big leap by Welbeck, headed clear by West Ham, picked up by Estupiñán. 8 yards outside the box, on the left-hand side. Mitoma on the outside. Looks to feed it back in, onto his right foot. Now he drives it in with pace, and it's headed away. I don't think they knew where that was. It was Souček, I think, who got it behind for a corner in the end. Wasn't aware that there actually was no Albion player around him. Another corner.
And you've got 4 players in there. Webster, Dunk, Welbeck and Ferguson. Somebody has to attack it. They've all come short. I don't know what they're coming short for.
And Gross with another opportunity, again from the right. This time he's turned it short to Solly March. March back to Pascal Gross. Drives it into the box. Brought down there by Lewis Dunk. Turns, shoots, blocks. Comes back for March. Takes a touch. Now he drives it and it hits Antonio. Cluster of players in front of him. Now Gilmour guides it to the far right. Comes off Ward-Prowse. Bowen it is in the end, who slid in on Gross.
Yeah, great bit of skill from Billy Gilmour to bring out the air like that. He wants to get the ball and he wants to be on the ball all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, does it? It's still wants to get on it. Here's Estupiñán driving it across the pitch to the right hand side. March lays it off. Milner just outside the box, squares it. Gilmour looking for a little ball in field. There's really no space for Evan Ferguson at all. He's got nowhere to really run into. He's got his back to goal on the edge of the D. And he's got 2 centre-backs and Alvarez for company. Gross holds it into him now, coming away from 4 West Ham players, back to Gross. He looks up. Estupiñán's made the run, floated beyond him. So foul leaning in there on Estupiñán. Albion fans wanted something there. Maybe it would have been a soft one, I think, but he did seem to be leaning into Estupiñán there. De Zerbi's furious the way things are going just at the moment. Here's Webster. Cross-field ball to Mitoma. Brings it down, kills it down. Left side of the box. onto his right, back onto his left. Now he goes to the byline. Can he get the cross in? Yes. It falls. Shot from Gilmore, and that's blocked there. I think it was Ward-Prowse who just flung his body at it. Albion knocking at the door here.
Ward-Prowse is having a stormer, Johnny, isn't he?
Unfortunately, yes. Calls for handball there against an Albion player, but March continues. Swung in there by Gilmore. Ferguson tries an acrobatic overhead kick, goal kick.
Thomas the better option there, isn't it? And again, good build-up plays in it from Brighton.
Yeah, there was a handball in the build-up to that, but if Ferguson had left it, maybe Mitoma might have been able to get it away.
Here.
Yeah, gets hold of it, Gilmore, doesn't he? That's the second time in the game that he's had a ball driven at goal that's been blocked by the West Ham defence. As we approach half an hour play, BBC Radio Sussex providing Premier League commentary for you, home and away on the Albion, who currently trail by 1-0. James Ward-Prowse from close range in the 18th minute of this first half. Earlier today, Brentford drew with Crystal Palace. Wolves got a winner against Everton, and United came from 2 behind to beat Forest 3-2. And the lunchtime game, Tottenham running out 2-0 winners against Bournemouth. Could have been more by all accounts. There's Milner sweeping it back there. I'm not quite sure who Roberto De Zerbi's shouting at, but he's certainly shouting at somebody. Not should be too happy with the way things that have gone so far, but a forward ball to Welbeck, who gives chase down to the left-hand side. Back to Mitoma. Good work by Welbeck. What can Mitoma do here? Flicks it behind him to Estupiñán. He just gets it forward. Now Welbeck. Ferguson. Onto Milner. Chance on the edge of the box here for Gross. Hits it low. Falls for Ferguson, but in there quickly Azuma. Pumping the ball away. Webster will retrieve on halfway. Albion trying to stretch and squeeze this West Ham defence. As you say, the Moyes team, it's so disciplined. Never actually beaten Brighton and Hove Albion, David Moyes, in 8 attempts. 4 defeats and 4 draws during his career against the Albion.
I think the West Ham have not beaten us, have they, in the Premier League?
No, 12 games Albion are unbeaten against West Ham. 6 wins, 6 draws. That's a strong challenge on Ferguson, but Alvarez got away with that one. Then Milner judged for a foul, Paquetá. Doesn't get frustrated, Warren. Albion players maybe feel they're not quite getting the rub of the green at the moment in terms of some of the decisions, but
like you said, Johnny, they're just leaving Antonio up front, aren't they? And trying to break when they do break, they break, because Alvarez is just sitting in front of Zuma and Abona. So it's more or less playing with 3 centre-halves. The 2 full-backs are in there, Emerson and Kupel. The 5 at the back. It's very hard to have some space in the box, trying to play these balls to feet.
Anderson goes down there. Foul by Milner. He actually got caught in the blow. Emerson's hurt himself. They're innocuous, I thought, but he does seem to be in a fair bit of pain there. Maybe a bit as he fell.
Well, it's not kicked him.
Milner's been a bit unfortunate today. A couple of decisions was nodded on by Antonio.
I think he just run into him, knee to knee maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah.
If he does come off, he has treatment, he comes off, that's just there for 30 seconds, isn't it, the new rule?
Yeah. He's upholding his left leg now. More worrying though, Warren, is the fact that it's going to be a free kick wide on this left-hand side that James Ward-Prowse will take. We talked about the height. Forward comes Souček. Alvarez is quite tall too. Having a quick chat there with Antonio. Albion are drawing a line along the edge of the box, so that's where they're going to be defending this one, but it's not quite in line with the edge of the box.
The keeper's got a free run, Johnny, out here. There's nobody in front of the keeper, is there? So if he wants to come and get it, he has to make it his.
Let's see what he does. Ward-Prowse fires it in. He comes and he punches. He's collided there with the West Ham player, which I think might be Souček. It was a good clean punch there by Bart Verbruggen.
It's a good punch, isn't it? But he's run straight into him, hasn't he?
He went straight down.
That's what Souček does, doesn't he? He does that well, gets in behind the defence and gets good headers in there. And he knocks
half a yard earlier, Warren, and Albion could have been in trouble, but
half a yard early, Johnny. It's a proper collision, isn't it?
Yeah, that would probably have helped Bartlett Ruggan, though, wouldn't it? Getting that punch away, Warren, because it was a little bit of indecision. Probably Webster's back pass was a little bit short for the goal, wasn't it? And he was a little bit unlucky. It came off Gilmore's back, but he didn't want to have conceded so early in his Albion career in the Premier League. Reminder earlier, good win for Worthing away at Dover Athletic today. That was a National League South defeat, though, at home for Eastbourne Borough, who lost by a 0-0 to Truro City. Still, he's receiving treatment, so we will have a lengthy spell of concern on the West Ham bench. Maybe a chance, maybe for Roberto De Zerbi to have a chat with some of his players. What do you think he'll be saying to them, Warren, in terms of trying to get themselves back level?
Well, I think the two wide players have to stay wide, don't they? And one-on-one situation, you have to take them on, and we have to get the ball quicker to them. It's okay doing all of that, but they're doubling up on.
Because that central area is just too packed, isn't it?
Too congested.
I mean, trying to pick out a pass there is very, very difficult.
This might unsettle them, though, Johnny.
Yes, it may do, actually.
Soucek's worked his socks off in there.
I think they probably could put in someone like a Fornals in there into the midfield, perhaps. Everybody taking the opportunity to go for a call of nature, or maybe have a refreshment. The Tunnel Club to our right has got a fair few empty seats at the moment. I think they're up and down all the time using the facilities, aren't they? I think the fact that you get a few free drinks, it causes them a few problems once they've sat down.
Free drinks, and every time they get up, they come back with some food.
Yeah. Well, Soucek is on his feet. He's walking behind the goal there. They won't need the stretcher, which had been brought along the side of the pitch. He's made of quite strong stuff, isn't he, Thomas Soucek? It's difficult to assess. Bartlett Ruggan, you need a fair amount of time, Warren, aren't we? But
well, I think
he's made the right decision, didn't he?
Yes, he come in and smashed it. But I think Soucek will come in off. I don't think he'll be going back on.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think he's holding his shoulder, perhaps, as well.
No, I think that's the thing. I think he's taking one right in there.
Well, they're down to 10 men at the moment. Maybe that might help the Seagulls. Antonio's just slotted in on the left-hand side. Paquetá in the middle now. I'll wait and tell you what the change is, but Albion have it. Can they make the difference here? As a nice run by Mitoma, pulls it into the box.
I think they're taking
well there by Alvarez.
I think they've been chatting to him, Johnny, but I think he's might be talking, giving the wobble.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Well, I do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, me too.
There's Milner across to Solly March.
So
I think you have to be careful. It looks like Ben Rama might be coming on, who was one of the two changes made by David Moyes, so quite easy for him to slot in there. Here's Dunk, waiting with the ball of his feet for someone to come towards him. No West Ham player obliging, so Webster pulls it across to the right. Short pass by March into Gross. Gross back out wide. Milner now. Can he find a decent cross? No, he tries to go back to Gross, but Paquetá got a foot on it. They haven't quite gone out of place, so still they'll have to wait before they can make a change. Albion pushing on the right here. Milner slides it into Ferguson. Back to Gross. Good movement there by Evan Ferguson. And controlled there by Angelo Ogbonna at the moment.
They've got nine players behind the ball, Johnny.
Yeah.
Haven't they? It's hard to break down. You don't move the ball quickly. They're filling gaps very well.
Yeah, no way through in the middle at the moment, so they go wide. Milner. March is hovering, waiting. Has to go back inside his own half. Still Benrahma can't come on. Yeah, it is proving difficult for them. Well, he will have a chance at half-time, but 8 minutes still left of this first half for the Seagulls to find an equaliser. They trail by a 0-0. James Ward-Prowse scoring 18 minutes into this first period. Bit side to side at the moment. Gross into the middle. Webster midway through the West Ham half. Paquetá comes forward now. Back to the right. Milner slips it down the side. March chance to cross, but checks back onto his left side. Milner does. That comes off Emerson out for a corner, and Benrahma will come on.
Yeah, it's good play, moving, but you need an end product at the end of it, Johnny, and we didn't get an end product out of this phase of play.
There's another attacking option, isn't he, Saeed Benrahma? Albion have another corner. Moyes is trying to get his team organised, but Gross has his right arm up in the air. Going to try and pick out Ferguson in the middle. Dunk is there too, whipped in near post, easy header away. To make it more difficult for West Ham than that, as March goes back inside his own half to Bart Verbruggen. Oh, and that pass there didn't go to Estupiñán. Matuma wins it back, up against Antonio. Now can he attack on the diagonal from that left-hand side? Pokes it in there to Ferguson. Ferguson back out wide. Curling cross in there from Estupiñán, headed away by the West Ham defender ahead of Solly March, who was judged to have just pushed into Emerson there. Free kick for West Ham.
Yeah, that's better play because you made the ball quickly, didn't they? The Toma running at defenders, committing defenders. At the moment, we're making it easy for them, aren't we? We're making it easy for West Ham because they're just playing side by side, and all they're doing is shuffling across.
Yeah. West Ham have only won one of their 16 top-flight games against the Albion. That was back in 1983. The goals coming from Cottee and Dickens in a 2-1 win against the Albion, but the Seagulls have fared so much better in recent seasons. The last defeat came at West Ham in a big thumping 6-0 defeat. And the Seagulls trailing here, and that's bounced off the referee, but it's fallen for Ferguson, so Anthony Taylor says, come on, play on.
They might have a bit of drawing on, Johnny, because Paquetette's gone in centre midfield.
Here's Gilmour, got about a shot from distance, middle of the pitch, lays it off. Gross, he has a go and forces the save from Areola. Really popped out of his hands, but no one there to try and prod it home. And it remains 1-0 to West Ham.
Like Souček's full of energies and up and down, gets his foot in. Paquetette's a bit of a flair player, isn't he?
Yeah,
so maybe
change the dynamic in that midfield area. Likes to go a lot wider, doesn't he? He's on the ball now. Lays it back there to Paquetá. There's a free kick off the ball. March there with the foul on Emerson. Well, Areola has only had to make a couple of saves. They've been quite tame efforts from the Seagulls. But it's the players in front of him that have done it. O'Connor told to go back. Albion fans want a yellow card for time wasting. 5 minutes left of the first half. Header away by Webster from the edge of his own box, picked up by Benrahma. Cushioned back to him now by Paquetá. Benrahma turns, 3 yards in from the left touchline. March trying to get close. The ball forward, Benrahma taking it away there. Welbeck tried to challenge, didn't win it, but Ferguson's brought down. Free kick. Big cheer from the Amex crowd as Anthony Taylor gives the Albion a chance to take the free kick. They're taking it quickly. And Mato De Zerbi having a word with the fourth official. Just gets set so quickly. Albion have somehow got to try and get the ball forward from those free kicks. Those short 3 passes, by the time they've made those 3 passes, West Ham are behind the ball.
Every man's behind the ball.
Yeah, Lewis Dunk is midway through the West Ham half. As you say, now he's bypassed Antonio, but he's running into traffic. Here's Gross, little square ball to Gilmour. Gilmour, diagonal floated ball. Estupiñán's body to get it into the area. Poor clearance, he goes up in the air and it's spilled there. No one could just tuck it home. Areola, what a mess of it he made there. It's a simple catch.
Yeah, but you have to be aware, don't you, Johnny, of that as centre forward. My day, Ian Rush, 10 a season for them, Ian Rush was. Yeah, you have to be aware.
You just got to gamble on the fact that it's going to be missed, but comes back to the Albion. Gilmour across to Estupiñán, drags it near side, lays it off. Gilmour again. Milner trying to help out, switches it to the right. March up against Emerson. Maybe to roam in field for Solly March. No one going towards him now, but he's just bypassed Antonio to get it to Dunk. Dunk now sees the run of Mitoma, trying to get it in behind, but it took a deflection, nearly left by the defender, and Alvarez as well to turn and spin and get away there. He's very calm under pressure inside his own box. Just those balls aren't quite falling for the Albion today, and everything seems to be falling for the visitors. It's a nice run by Mitoma. It was a nice ball by Lewis Dunk, but it took a deflection on the way. Antonio holding it up. Ward-Prowse sends it across the pitch to Ben Rama. Space up ahead of him, gets to the edge of the box. He's up against Milner. Clips it to the left-hand side. Emerson drives in the cross, comes off Milner out for a corner. Good well there, Milner.
So quickly on the break though, Johnny, isn't it?
And that's the danger, isn't it? You find yourself camped in their half for long periods of time, and then suddenly, and now they do have that added pace with Ben Rama on the left, coming on as a substitute. Well, it's going to be a corner. Ward-Prowse to take it. On the near side. Hoists it near post, and it's headed away by Webster. Just sneaking in there.
He's gone for goal, I think, there, hasn't he?
Yeah, made the right decision, but Brugge having a quick conversation there with Adam Webster. 2 balls on the pitch. It will get retaken as we go into the final 60 seconds of normal time. There'll be plenty to be added on after that injury to Thomas Soucek. He's had to come off after a blow with Bart Verbruggen. And here is Ward-Prowse again. Again, it's near posting. Again, it's headed behind, this time by Milner.
Well, we spoke about it before the game started, about his delivery. There's two wonderful balls in the near post area. Just need a little glance from one of the West Ham players.
Yeah, I think it was Alvarez who was in there on that occasion. Still pushing. 3rd consecutive corner. This one a bit more height, and actually out comes Verbruggen. Good claim. Wants to send somebody on their way. He's thrown it out to Estupiñán. He's looking through the middle, checks. Nearly fell on the ball there. Overran it, but helped out there by March. Now Gross asking Milner to get forward on the right. Maybe Albion can get in behind now. 4 minutes to be added on. Milner with a cross. Arriving there is Welbeck. Headed away there by Sofal to the edge of the area. March picks it up. What will he do with it here? 15 yards outside the box. Square ball to Gilmour. A little disguised ball into Welbeck. Anthony Taylor saw the foul. Free kick on the edge of the D and a yellow card. I think it's Alvarez who's got it.
I don't think he caught him. I'm not too sure if he caught him. We're not here, Johnny.
It was played into Danny Welbeck.
Yeah,
he did. He actually trod on his foot. Not too much production on the instep there for Danny Welbeck, who's still on the ground but now getting up. And this is a very good opportunity because he's dead centre, right on the edge of the D. We're going to try and find an equaliser after that Ward-Prowse goal.
Well, you need to make the goalkeeper save, Johnny, don't you? After what he just
Especially,
dropped
having just spilled that. Good come and claim that by Bart Verbruggen there, Warren.
Yes,
down the other end.
Yeah.
I really like that. Look commanding, look positive. So there's a host of options here. As I say, it's dead centre on the edge of the D. There's Welbeck, there's March, there's Ferguson, there's Lewis Dunk, there's Milner. Surely somewhere in there's Pascal Gross, but it doesn't look like Gross is going to take it because he's got into the wall. We do have a player lying on the ground behind the wall, West Ham. Areola crouching. Looks like Ben Rama's encroaching there, certainly not 10 yards away. Maybe a Lewis Dunk special. Straight run and hit.
Just have to hit the target.
See if they can force some kind of save. No, it's March. He curls it. Hits the top of the wall, comes off Zuma and goes behind for a corner.
Did it hit Zuma or did it hit?
I thought it hit Zuma actually, but Alvarez looks like he's gone down.
It's Alvarez again.
Maybe it hit him flush on the face. March it was who curled it left-footed. Yeah, it did hit him straight in the face.
Brave.
Yeah. As I say, he used to be a centre-back, was converted into a central midfielder. Wanted to move to Chelsea. Said he cried when that move didn't happen. He's joined West Ham and he's playing in a central defensive role here. Gross in at the near post. Another easy header away by Paquetá. That's 2 wasted opportunities now from the Albion. Got to do better.
It's a waste opportunity, isn't it? I think we've had 5 corners now, Johnny. Not really put them under pressure. None of them.
No. Gilmour to the left side of the box. Mitoma brings it down neatly. Edge of the box is Welbeck. Oh, it's a terrible ball across there. Trying to find Milner. a little bit forced. And it's gone all the way across the pitch and out for a throw. It's been a rather disjointed first half performance, Ron.
Yeah, it has. We haven't got our passing game going on his sideways and back. We haven't got our flow, we haven't got the pace. We haven't been at him in the final third, probably Matoma on one occasion. But Solly March, he keeps sending him inside. Emerson, he keeps going inside.
Albion take a quick throw. Welbeck trying to make amends, gets there. Sees it out of the play for a corner. Zuma it was who committed. Maybe a chance for redemption here. Maybe Gross will leave it for Solly March to take. Change of angle now from the Albion on this right-hand side, which could be the last action of this first half.
It's been a great time to score.
Could change the half-time talk. Could certainly change the dynamics of the game with Albion trailing by a goal to nil. March to take it, left-footed, fires it into the box, headed away to the far side where Estupiñán has it. He curls it in. Good ball, but it's over Webster. Paquetá controls it and volleys it clear. There is the half-time whistle. Albion trail by a goal to nil. A James Ward-Prowse strike. 18 minutes into the first period, giving the Hammers the lead. Totally against the run of play. Albion had good opportunities, but West Ham making it very congested in the centre of the pitch. Not much space for the likes of Welbeck or for Ferguson. Gilmour had a couple of shots that were blocked, but Areola has not really been tested. And at half-time, Albion trail by a goal to nil.
Well, I said in the podcast, Johnny, that West Ham had 24% last week and won 3-1. Today, they've only had 16% possession. We've had 84% possession. We've had 9 shots, only 2 on target. We haven't worked them in the final third enough for me. We've had good areas of place. Yes, they're getting back and they work so hard out of possession as they do in possession, West Ham. But we need an end product. Solly March hasn't taken his full back out once on the outside. He's always gone inside, and that's what he wants him to go. Emerson, just keep going inside, because I know one of my centre backs or Paquetá will just come in and take the ball off you, and that's what's happening. We need to move the ball quicker, get it wide and get across into the box, and get into the box. We can't just keep feeding it there. The way we are playing at the moment, it's too slow. If you're going to play the way we want to play, you need to get in and pass it, and crisp passes.
And really, Welbeck and Ferguson have been out of the game, really, because they're just operating an area with so many other players.
Well, yeah, it's too tight in there, isn't it? It's too tight. So it's one of the situations where you have to get the ball wide and get the crosses into the box.
Yeah. Could he make changes at half-time, Warren, potentially?
No, you can, but you don't. I don't think he'll make changes at half-time, and he'll make changes because you need to get after him. Bit more movement. Yes, the static. Ferguson and Welbeck, well, and when they do come, they're coming too deep because the centre backs are staying in the slots, and Alvarez is just staying there as well. So if they come, you've still got 5 defenders in front of them. When they turn, it's 5 defenders in front of them. So you need to suck them in a little bit. They need to get closer, I think, Welbeck and Ferguson, little 1-2s, playing around the corners and see if you can move them about. At the moment, it's easy for the defence of West Ham.
Okay, well, the whole of the second half to come with myself and Warren Aspinall, but stay tuned at half-time here at the Amex. It's Brighton and Hove Albion 0, West Ham United 1.
Johnny, Warren, thanks very much indeed, and of course we'll be back for the whole of the second half with Johnny and Warren in about 15 minutes time. Elsewhere in the Premier League today, the early kick-off, it finished Bournemouth 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Tottenham at the moment top of the Premier League. A late Fulham equaliser at the Emirates, Arsenal 2, Fulham 2, so you'd have to say Arsenal dropping points at home today. It finished Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1, a late Anderson equaliser for Crystal Palace. Everton's woes continue. They've lost by a goal to nil at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who recorded their first win of the season. Manchester United coming from behind to beat Nottingham Forest. Forest having a player sent off. United coming from 2-0 down to win by 3-2. The Brighton players are out as the West Ham players make those out. I wonder, Warren, whether there might have been a few stern words from Mr. De Zerbi at half-time.
Well, I don't think it's stern words. I just think they have to, because they're very organised, aren't they? And Alvarez is unbelievable. And I said these two centre-halves of the week, Lincoln, they're on cigar land, aren't they? They're sitting back because Alvarez can play. He's a good football player in there. He's just shielding them too. So you need to move the ball quicker. So can we do that? Let's hope we can.
Well, let's rejoin our commentary team. Warren Aspinall, former Albion striker, summarising your match. Commentator Johnny Cantor.
Thanks very much, Adrian. So West Ham kick us off in this second half, leading by a goal to nil. Lucas Paquetá gets us underway. Slight change with that one alteration by West Ham in the first half, and a back pass there from Estupiñán was a bit short. So it's got away there. Sorry, we couldn't quite see there because people were taking their seats in the Tunnel Club area. In fact, there's no one there in their seats at the moment. And here's Emerson drilling it forward, away by Milner. Turned into a good pass there to Solly March, who's hugging that touchline, trying to check in on his left side. Brought down, Anthony Taylor blows his whistle, free kick. What are you looking for in the early stages of this first second and a half, Warren? Sorry.
Well, move the ball quicker in the final third. Create space for others, willing runners, but at the moment we started the second half quite well because we're moving it quickly.
Well, here's Lewis Dunk with the first time ball to Mitoma. He has moved it quickly. He's down by the byline, running into the box. Shifts it, back post, downward header, brilliant save by Areola to deny Evan Ferguson, who did everything right. Downward, power, and Areola saves on a half volley. Swung back in by Milner, another chance here for Welbeck, comes off the top of the head of the defender. Mitoma lobs it back in. And Ferguson tried to spin and turn, and in the process fouled O'Connor. Free kick for West Ham. Bright start from the Seagulls in this second half. Evan Ferguson coming close to an equaliser.
Yeah, it's a wonderful cross. Mitoma on get up back post. You have to finish it, no matter what, Johnny. 7 yards out for a header. It's just he's not headed it into the corner, he's headed it down, so it gives the keeper a bit more chance. Yeah, you need to put that in the back of the net.
I mean, he's probably had the two best chances, hasn't he, Warren? A turn and swivel that he shot that maybe didn't quite go in the corner, and then that header there. So confident. I swung him into my fantasy football team this week, but he hasn't managed to get on the score sheet so far. But promising signs at the start of the second half for Evan Ferguson and the Albion. Gross, 20 yards inside the West Ham half. Crossfield ball, so Fowl manages to hook it away and gets it to Bowen. A little bit lucky, really. And now he looks to go forward, trying to get Antonio in behind. He's got it past Dunk. Across comes Webster, trying to hold Antonio up, but there's that big frame of his to shield it, then lays it back there to Paquetá outside the left boot. Estupiñán is there, cuts it out, up there to Ferguson. He looks to try and turn, then checks, goes back to Gilmore. He ushers Gross forward now. Can they find some pace going forward? Welbeck, nice touch to get it away from the defender. Edge of the box, shoots, deflected wide for a corner.
Better start, isn't it? Moving the ball quickly. 12 strikers there. Daniel Welbeck shoved off Kufal very easily. Come from one end to the other and gets it shot away, but it's blocked again. There are so many blocks in this first half.
Yes, countless blocks. I mean, haven't been brilliant from corners in this game so far, but Pascal Gross has got an opportunity here. Down the Albion left. Again, that right arm is up in the air. Everybody, apart from Estupiñán, in or around the box. Mitoma brings it down his chest, fires it straight over the bar. Very tight angle to score from there. Would have been asking a lot. Better delivery though, and a really good start to this second half for the Albion.
I think the better delivery, Johnny, but I think Mitoma has to chest it. He's chested it too far in front of him and he had to wait for it to come down.
And therefore he gets underneath it and sends it over the bar. Good chance in the first couple of minutes. And reminding the referee that Areola is certainly taking his time, and the clearance is headed down by Dunk, or by Alvarez. Quite impressed by him just sitting in front of the back four today. He's been very good. I mean, he cost a lot of money for my ex.
And when you think they saw Rice, but they bought him and Ward-Prowse and probably got 40 million in the bank, I think they'll be happy, West Ham.
Yeah, not a bad bit of business. Declan Rice going for just under the cost of Moises Caicedo. He helped Chelsea to victory last night. What can his former club do here? They're trailing by a goal to nil if you're just joining us on BBC Radio Sussex. It was James Ward-Prowse in the first half. And now looking to find inroads in this second half. They've already tested Areola. Estupiñán. Taking it away from Jared Bowen, who's been relatively quiet in the game so far. Webster hoisting it high, finding Mitoma. Brings it down, waits for Estupinian to go on the outside, but squares it for Gilmore. Gilmore thought about bringing Gross into play, but he's nudged it away to Milner. Milner, nice ball to Gross on the edge of the box. Back to goal, goes wide. March, back to Gross by the byline, fizzes it in near post. Enough of an angle to give any Albion players a chance before Areola could dive on the ball.
But he needs to pull that a little bit back, Johnny. It's more or less gone straight, hasn't it? He's not got his foot round it, it's gone straight.
Yeah, it's
Can't ask him too much for your strikers to get in front of the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, who's actually positioned quite well. But Albion won it back through Milner. Gilmore onto the edge of the box. Here's Welbeck, left-footed, lays it off. Estupinian takes a touch. Shoulder to shoulder there, I think, by Paquetá. Goal kick.
Never a penalty. I think you have to do more than that, Estupinian. I think he knows what he's done there.
He's soaring through the air, isn't he?
Yeah.
He takes a touch. Paquetá comes in. I don't think David Coop will be looking at that for very long. Areola takes the goal kick to Zuma. Zuma in short to Alvarez. Alvarez under pressure, gives it away. Mitoma pounces, lays it to the edge of the box. Ferguson rolling it on for Welbeck. Welbeck delivers it back to the edge of the D. Here's Gross, left-footed, deflected and spinning wide. Welbeck goes to pick it up, down by the left corner flag. Positive 6 minutes at the beginning of this second half. There's the Cruyff turn from Gross. It's really the Gross turn. He's got it back there. Plays it against Sofal. Out for another corner. Amextrad trying to G on their side to try and take it to the next level and get an equaliser. Gross, short to Estupinian. Gets it back. Edge of the area. Mitoma. Just wonder whether Ferguson was lacking a bit of confidence to pull the trigger on the edge of the box earlier. Here's Mitoma. Curling cross, easily dealt with. Away there by Ogbonna. Gilmore is the last person back, and he's forced into a mistake there by Saeed Benrahma.
Yeah, it's poor cross, isn't it, from Mitoma? You need to get the ball. We're still trying to feed them and get beyond them that way. Sometimes you have to catch them on the surprise, Johnny, don't you? Put an early ball in.
Yeah, something a little bit different might be required if Albion are going to get themselves back level. They still trail by a goal to nil despite a promising start to this second period. As West Ham try and go forward through Emerson. Blocked there by March. Ferguson, back to March. Square to Gilmore. On the diagonal in there to Welbeck. Just took a knock at the ball there, I think, Kurt Zuma. The referee Anthony Taylor was happy enough with it, but here come West Ham on the break. Benrahma feeding Jared Bowen. Bowen creeping into the box, comes off dunk, and then he fires the shot wide. I don't think he thought it was coming back to him, but I've been a little bit fortunate there as well. And this is the danger. You force 7.5 minutes of pressure, suddenly West Ham break and cause you problems.
Oh yeah, but you have to be aware of that, Johnny, don't you? The centre-half's won a fair challenge, and he's got the ball again, and then played it forward again quickly. Cuts out 3 of Brighton players, and you won against 1.
Dunk trying to play it in behind Sofal, who's retreating towards his own goal. He gets there first before Mitoma, back passes it to Areola, who clears. Comes off the toe of Paquetá, one back by Gilmore. He's had another good game in the heart of the Albion midfield. Not much space to work in. Albion come down the left through Dunk. Dunk feeding Mitoma, who's had some opportunities. Just need to keep giving him the ball, I think. Keep attacking Sofal. Here's Gilmore through the middle, midway through the West Ham half. Square to Gross. Gross on the right. Back to Webster. Little short 15-yard pass now to Dunk. Dunk creeping forward. Paquetá comes towards him. And there's not much movement. There's nowhere really to go. Webster, he curls it to the edge of the box. Zuma just clears. That's a wasted ball, isn't it?
It's a wasted ball, Johnny. But our centre forwards are coming deeper and deeper and deeper. You need to pull them, push them back. Play on the shoulder of the centre backs, give them a problem. If you go short.
Well, and also they've got Alvarez sitting there as well, so it doesn't really help. The key, I think, is the wide men, March and Mitoma. March is on the ball now, crossing to the middle of the pitch, down along the ground to Mitoma. Estupinian's gone outside. Mitoma releases the Ecuadorian left back. Get a little nibble from Paquetá there. Dunk trying to help out. Gross is in the middle, but it's aimed towards Welbeck. Comes off his shoulder. Back by Alvarez to his keeper. No back passes, the referee.
It's not a back pass, and he's trying to hit it over his head. It's going probably off his studs. But again, no Brighton player reacting, is there? No Welbeck.
Ariola dropped the ball in the first half, virtually on his own goal line, but there was no one there for the Albion. They've been wanting a handball. They didn't get it, but it's given back to them by West Ham. That long ball, and Antonio, who hasn't quite been as effective as he was in the first 15-20 minutes. Trying to win it back off Gilmore, but Gilmore darting through, gets to the middle, gets it back from Dunk, sliding it forward towards March. The clearance there bypasses Evan Ferguson. Again, a little bit of fortune there for West Ham. They had it a fair bit. Milner tracking back. And it's a free kick for West Ham. Antonio grabbed the ball there, assuming that he would get the free kick, and Anthony Taylor obliged.
Fair, it looked offside. But you can't be offside if
they're taking it quickly, trying to get it down the left. Shot comes in, skims off the top of the crossbar, I think, from Emerson Royale. Well, trying to catch Albion unawares. It was taken quickly out to the wide touchline. Little ball in, took a touch, fizzed it in, certainly didn't hit the crossbar. For all Albion's possession, West Ham come the closest. That time it's from the left back. There's Dunk, dinking it over in behind Sofal. Good run by Estupinian. Left side of the box. Rolls it in there to Welbeck, prods it back to Mitoma. Gilmore steers it across to March. March rolling it down the line to Gross. He backheels it, away by Alvarez. Another chance for March to go again down that right. Everybody bomb Antonio inside the West Ham box, and it's cleared, and it goes to Antonio, who releases side Benrahma. Webster goes across to halfway to try and stop him in his tracks. Tries to go on the outside. He's kept it in play there, the substitute, and he's taken on two Albion defenders. Gets away near side, pulled in there, away by Dunk. Falls for Benrahma again, to the edge of the box to Paquetá. Brings it down, volleys straight at Verbruggen. Certainly the game is opening up. Every time Albion go forward, West Ham look for the break.
I'd just like to see Solly March do a little bit more, Johnny.
He's a bit safe.
Yeah, he's been very safe today. I mean, this silent, and the corner was getting after his fullback, trying to make things happen.
Here's Mitoma, he's trying to make something happen from the left, running into the box, pulls it in, it's deflected. Chance for Gilmore, urge to shoot, doesn't, but he pulls it in there to Gross. He hooks it back towards the box, but cleared by a clutch of West Ham players, all there to block and deny Albion again as Antonio releases Benrahma. Webster trying to get back into position. Dunk is back too. Bowen making a beeline for the back post, curled in towards him now. Estupinian let him run, and he's paid for it. Jared Bowen took a touch, prodded it past Verbruggen, and West Ham double their lead. Albion 0, West Ham 2.
Well, what he's done, Johnny, Jared Bowen defensively, he's been excellent, trying to double up and help his fullback out, Kufal. But he's brought forward, he's running inside Estupiñán, and Estupiñán's carried on running inside, and he's just dropped off. He's fell to his back post. But you ask him a bit more from your centre backs here. Webster.
Yeah, but Reiner got in between the two of them, held him up initially.
But close him down then.
It's a lovely curl ball to Bowen, who scored that goal that won them the Europa Conference League final. Could he have won it for West Ham today with that second goal? Changes of foot. João Pedro and Adam Lallana preparing to come on.
But like you say, Johnny, he's worked ever so hard defending.
Well, I actually said we haven't really heard much of him.
No.
We'll wait and see who does come off. I think it's going to be Danny Welbeck.
Substitution for the Albion coming off. Number 18, Danny Welbeck.
We'll wait and see what happens with Lallana. Hasn't happened really for Danny Welbeck, but both him and Ferguson have been starved of any space. And Billy Gilmore coming off. Doesn't look too happy. Maybe Lallana's got that creativity, Warren.
Yeah, might have, but the formation has changed now. Well, we've got 5 attacking players on the pitch.
Well,
so we're going to leave ourselves open.
Yeah.
You have to do better as a centre half now. I think Webster has to close the ball down. He didn't do that. He let Ben Rama stop him and pick Jadabon on the back post.
Yeah, certainly didn't do enough, did he? And he made Albion pay. Ferguson nudging it forward to João Pedro, tries to back it heel to Ferguson, but cut out there by Zuma. He runs into a bit of traffic, and now Lallana with his first touch, right side of the box for the Albion. To Milner. These two, of course, used to play together, know each other's game really well. Now he tries to go into the middle. Lotz comes back for Lewis Dunk. He's going to sweep it to the left, but the angle has been cut off by Sofal, so they push on the right again. Milner on the ground, into the feet there of March. Back heel, cross goal from João Pedro. Another out-foot stretch clearance by Kurt Zuma, who's done a decent job really today. Out of play it goes, and it'll be a West Ham throw, I think. Stupinian has twisted there, maybe hurt himself in the process. Now it's going to go Albion's way. Well, so Pedro is operating in that sort of 10 role. Maybe those little touches, those little flicks, one might just come off to get Albion back in the game. 2-0 they trail. Webster. Ball back there to Lewis Dunk. Off goes Milner, making a run. Dunk tries to seek him out, but it's straight down the throat of Alphonse Areola. Quarter of an hour played then in this second half, and Albion 2-0 down.
You speak about this quite a lot, Johnny, don't we, when teams sit in against us and breaking them down, and we find it very hard, don't we?
Sort of feel like the first goal in Albion games is even more crucial than others, but here's March touching onto Ferguson, hits it early. Comes off Ogbonna, spinning away as Emerson puts the ball out of play.
It's just unbelievable how many times we shoot, Johnny, and we hit one of their players.
Yeah.
Was it good defending?
It's just the sheer number of players, isn't it, in front of the ball. Here's March, on the overlap is Milner, taking it to the byline. Goal kick, come off the Albion player.
See, there's no need to take another touch there. Then just whip it in.
Yeah, send it in. Could we also say that maybe Albion's chances, the one for Ferguson, the spinning shot, the header, Welbeck's deflected shot, maybe they could have done better?
Especially Ferguson could have done better. That's for sure with his header. It's a massive chance.
I mean, good to head it down into the ground, but
he's taking all the pace off it, heading it then into the ground.
Yeah. Well, looks like an injury to Emerson, but he seems to be okay. Anthony Taylor now returning to the middle of the pitch. Let's see if there's a slight change in the formation. Roberto De Zerbi just trying to indicate something there, but the long ball out has found Bowen. Bowen through the middle to Antonio. Antonio holding it up, spins away from Webster again, tucks it home. It's a fine finish, and surely it's curtains for the Seagulls, who trail by 3-0.
Well, it's a long kick here from the goalkeeper. Jadabon straight to his feet. He just found into Antonio's feet. He swivelled. Webster left for dead. It's too easy. Miles too easy. It's poor defending again from Webster. The second goal is poor defending from Webster, and then on that occasion it's poor defending. But it's gone over Stupinian. It's a kick from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Halfway line. Good touch.
It is a good touch, and it is a good ball forward. Antonio still had a little bit of work to do, but Webster's right behind him.
Where are you going? Where's Webster going? He's got to get the shopping, Johnny, hasn't he? It's too easy to turn him there.
You've got to feel a bit for Bart Verbruggen, haven't you, really? Because I don't think he's had the protection.
Well,
not much he could have done with the last two.
No.
Well, Albion feeling it here. By no means have they been at their best, but it maybe is a little bit flattering.
Well, I spoke about it in the podcast, Johnny. But they have 24%, didn't I say, against Chelsea, scored 3 goals.
Yeah.
This is the way they're going to play. They only had 10 men last week, didn't they?
Yes,
but they hit them on the counter-attack, Chelsea. So that's what they've done with us.
Well,
but that's too easy. That's just a goal kick from the keeper. Brought it down on the halfway line. So 3 touches, it's back of the net. 3 players involved.
Well, still plenty of time for the Albion, but they've got a lot of work to do. They need to find a goal from somewhere, and they need to find it fast. And again, with this disciplined West Ham defence who are moving Albion right and left. Here's Milner, he sent in a good cross. Big leap by João Pedro. Headed away there by Zuma. Albion won a free kick, not given there by Anthony Taylor, but Pedro just getting up to his feet. Still in the box. Gross over to the near side. Mitoma firing it in with pace. Again, first person to it is Zuma. I don't think they've attacked the ball enough when the ball has gone into the box today. They've won a corner. Adam Lallana trying to make a difference over there on the far side. They've taken it short. Rolled back there to Gross. Gross, right side of the box. Skips inside of Mantoni. Hits it low. And it's just pushed behind there by Areola at his near post. Creeping through a crowd of players.
So again, it's an uncalled upon. It's a good save from the goalkeeper. I mean, 3 vital saves today, Johnny. The goalkeeper.
Here's the corner, fighting by March. Big leap down there, and a good header by Lewis Dunk, but it's parried away again. There's an offside in there, so it wouldn't have counted.
It's offside because it's got back
afterwards. Yeah, I think it was afterwards actually.
Well,
Maybe Solly March perhaps.
Solly March has been too lazy not to get back on side.
Oh, so many times we asked for the Albion centre, it's actually Mitoma who's offside. But hugely disappointing for the Seagulls. Well, I suppose one of the worries, Warren, is that other teams see this and they come with a similar game plan.
Well, yeah.
It has been executed very well by David Moyes and his side, but all the same, 82% possession so far in the game, and they trail 3-0. Bowen over the top down the left to Ben Rama. Ben Rama down by their left corner flag. Up against Milner. Rolls it into the box. Emerson arriving. Marches back there to defend. Oh, left by Milner, and a chance here for West Ham on the edge of the box. Hit by Ward-Prowse. Straight over Bruggen. To release it quickly, but changed his mind and played it short. Rolled it short out there to Lewis Dunk. Quarter of the game still remaining on BBC Radio Sussex. 3-0 Albion trail. Not often that we have said that.
What David Moyes has got, as we said, better be very organised. Which they have been out of possession, Johnny, that's for sure. Work the socks off.
Forward it goes to João Pedro. Takes it on his chest. Doesn't get the shot away, and in comes Ward-Prowse. Good initial play there by the Brazilian. Now the play it goes for West Ham throw. Well, Albion have drawn blank and they've scored in each of their last 18 Premier League games, Warren. And we can't complain, they've already scored 8, but haven't looked convincing in front of goal today. I say they haven't looked like scoring, that's not right, but they haven't looked like quite the conviction at times required to break through, but maybe they can here as João Pedro feeds Ferguson. Ferguson trying to wriggle away, appeals to handball. It might have been a foul, but Mitoma's latched onto it on the edge of the box, goes in there. It was Ward-Prowse who was leaning in, waved away by Anthony Taylor.
Anthony Taylor's got a great view, but I still think there's a touch from...
Well, I'll come back to something in a minute, Warren. Something that you pointed out that you don't like, and I'm starting to really dislike it as well. It's West Ham clear to the near touchline, headed down by Jared Bowen. When the referee wags his finger, it's a bit like it's an indication to the VAR official to say, this is definitely not, and don't challenge it.
Yeah.
Because then if he wags it away and says no with his finger, if it is checked, it looks a lot worse for the referee. A lot of talk about Mike Dean, of course, in the week. Here's Webster seeking out Mitoma. Outside the right boot, onto the chest of Ferguson, who were in to thump it away.
Well, this is the same referee you didn't want to send to the VAR monitor, isn't it? Mr. Taylor, who's his friend.
Well, here is March. Emerson in front of him, down the right side of the box. Milner with a bit of space, drags it back on the angle. Lallana, chance to get it under control. Ferguson tried to just pirouette off the ball. Just needed someone to have a go, I think.
Well, Lallana has a shot there. 10 yards inside in their 18-yard box. You have to pull the trigger.
I mean, at times it's been crowded, but at times there seems to be a slight reluctance to shoot. Maybe because there's been so many blocks. Here's Mitoma cutting in from the left. Square it goes. Back by Gross to Dunk. Wide to the left. Estupinian whips it in. Headed away by Alvarez. Saiba and Ramu with good technique to bring it under control, and Emerson takes it wide. March brings him down. A foul and a free kick. Simon Adingra is going to come on for the Albion.
Well, we need something else, don't we? And Solly March, I think, will make him way for Adingra. But you have to watch that. You watch it again.
Just looking back at when.
No, it's not a penalty. Just put his foot up. Give you the ball.
Yeah. I think he just gets ahead of him and just plants his foot toward Prowse, and then he runs into him. So Veltman's going to come on as well, so another double change. And as you say, I think it'll probably be March and maybe Milner. Here's Paquetá for West Ham, lobbing it over the top. Antonio onside, chests it down and sends it over the bar from about 6 yards out. May have hurt Verbruggen in the process. The two of them collided. They're both down on the ground. Verbruggen now getting up to his feet. He's already collided with Thomas Souček, who's gone off, and now Antonio looks like he may be injured.
But again, he's just run off Webster. It's too easy.
Yeah, I mean, sort of 4
this could
yards
be a penalty,
away.
John.
We chests it down.
James Milner.
And it is Milner to make way for Veltman. And Solly March, the other person to go off, as predicted by Warren.
Number 34, Joel Veltman. Also coming off, number 7, Solly March. Solly replaced by number 24, Simon Adingra.
So let's see what Simon Adingra can do. Perch over on the right hand side, Mitoma will stay on the left. Well, we talked about all these different options that Roberto De Zerbi's got. He said he'd give people chances. You never know, we may see changes. Of course, they're at home again next weekend, another 5:30 kick-off, a tough assignment against Newcastle United. They play Liverpool tomorrow. Here's Webster. I think the concern will be defensively as well, Warren.
Yeah, for sure.
They haven't been tight enough, really. As you talked about it, give Ben Rama, Antonio and Bowen space. Here is Adingra, over on the right side of the box. Cuts it back for Veltman. Two exchange passes again. It's a bit slow in the build-up. Thought he could have whipped it in early there, Adingra. Here's Dunk into his right foot, middle of the pitch, middle of the West Ham half. Now Webster. Fires it in with pace, headed away by Zuma, trying to get it in there towards João Pedro. Ferguson, nice play, gets it to Pedro, back to Gross, into the edge of the D. Lallana turns, getting it to Ferguson, runs into Paquetá, brushes him off, looks to try and turn, no way through, so he uses Gross, he calmly plays it to the left, using Estupinian. João Pedro. That was intended for Lallana, but Mitoma got in the way. Here's João Pedro. Every West Ham player inside the box. Dunk, 5 yards outside of it. Using Gross. Gross, nowhere to go. Has to go to the right. Webster pushing it wide to Adingra. Adingra now. Up he goes. Running to the edge of the box. They get the shot away. Powers it in. Comes off the chest of Soufal. Bowen tried to take it away, but it's won back by the Albion. Down the left comes Estupinian. Estupinian wants to drill it back in field. Adingra popped up on the left here, and he's found Mitoma. Nice exchange. Back to João Pedro. Good run by Adam Lallana, but it's sent over him, and it's sent over Veltman, and it's a goal kick.
Tippy-tappy football, Johnny. Nothing, no end product. Again, against a run of play, they hit you on the break, but when you think Duncan, Webster, marshalling Antonio, and he's given him a run around.
Yeah. Well, a long clearance by Zuma. Forward comes Webster, heading it in there to Lallana. Nicely played on the half volley to Gross. Gross. 5 yards forward to Ferguson. He rolls it over to Adingra. He's seen a lot of the ball since coming on. A couple of little step overs. Drags it back, wanting someone to come on the angle there. It was opening up. Dunk maybe saw it, but it was too far away from him. And West Ham clear it up. Tidying it up on that left flank. Here comes Emerson. Up the pitch he goes. They're flooding forward. They've got one over on the right. Estupiñán commits. Loses out. Benrahma. There's three in the middle. Albion exposed here. Benrahma pulls it across. Left by the two in the middle. Didn't make its way through to Bowen. We get numbers in the box there. Albion hoping for an offside, which hasn't happened. Thilo Kehrer is going to come on in a short while. Still not out though. Shouts of Olé from the West Ham fans behind that goal on our right hand side. And Paquetá's going to take it to the corner flag. We do still have 15 minutes, but I guess he's trying to create time. And he's run a corner.
What we're doing now, Johnny, and fans behind the goal, just top of the league singing this, and the players are playing onto it, aren't they? Showbolting.
Well, they wait for the change. Looks like, is that Kevin Nolan there talking to Thilo Kehrer? It's about how they're going to restructure. But first up, Albion have got another corner to defend. Another corner that will be taken by James Ward-Prowse. Scored in the 2-2 draw here against Southampton last season. And scored here today to get things going for West Ham. He takes the corner from the left, in at the near post, headed away by Webster. Adingra clears. Chasing back is Sofal. Plays it back inside his own half to Areola. He's had a couple of saves to make in the game. Hasn't really been stretched. Estupiñán heads it back to Verbruggen. Maybe some of the headlines will be that he conceded 3 on his debut and Albion have won their first 2 games, but I don't think we can be too critical of the young Dutch keeper.
No, he hasn't been protected, has he?
No. Just allowed them too much space. I think Albion's 2 centre-backs have allowed attackers just a couple of extra yards. There's Lallana finding Ferguson. Ferguson outside the edge of the box again. Lots of touches, brings Gross into play. He tries to slip in João Pedro. Bowen spotted the danger, forward, Dunk intercepts, pulls it to the left. Here comes Estupiñán, 8 yards outside the box. To the left-hand side, Mitoma now. With a chance to go on the outside, no, curls it back post, headed away there by Emerson. Veltman challenging Said Benrahma. Benrahma going back towards the corner flag, trying to put West Ham under pressure here, and it's won by Adingra, working hard. Comes back for Gross. Gross sends in the cross. Doesn't get it beyond Sofal. Trying to find Mitoma at the back post. Albion still pushing. You get one, maybe they might get a bit shaky. But I have to say, they haven't really created a chance in the last 10 minutes. BBC Radio Sussex. Albion 3-0 down. Mitoma on the outside is João Pedro. 2 defenders go with him, but he slips in between the gap. He wanted a free kick. He didn't get it. Anthony Taylor told him to get up. To be honest, I think he was away and up and running. I think it would have been a soft free kick one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, he stopped really, but he's on the ball again now and he's attacking the edge of the area. Trying to square it there. Gave it away. Gross wins it back. Pushes it to the right. Adingra's there. Lallana goes on the outside. Adingra comes back inside. Gross hits it. Parried away by Areola. Nice height, as they say, for the keeper. Very comfortable save.
These shots on target for Areola, he's making the saves, but they're all within reach of him, aren't they? I think he's just
you
playing
and
for
me
the
could
cameras.
save that, couldn't we? Kehrer coming on. And it's Antonio to make way.
Virgil, he's played a lone fellow up front, but he's given them 2 centre-backs an hour time.
He has. I mean, he's started the season well, hasn't he? Maybe had a little bit of respite after what was a very busy season, and they will be quite well equipped, I would have thought, to go into the Europa League this season with Albion and Liverpool. Looking for 7 points from 9. Albion will have 6 as it stands at the moment. What can they do from this corner? Gross is going to take it from the left, swings it in. No Albion player at the near post. Comfortable header away by Alvarez. João Pedro trying to get to the second ball, but it's lofted over the top. Benrahma up against Adingra. Adingra does well, held him up, but Benrahma stood strong. Nudges it on there to Ward-Prowse. Back heel, Benrahma. Back to Ward-Prowse. Right side shoots. Parried, deflected, comes off at the top of the crossbar, and Verbruggen catches. Well, they're living dangerously. Now Albion go on the break for a change. Mitoma driving up the middle of the pitch.
But you've got 2, 4, 6, 7 West Ham players who've made it all the way back, and we've got nobody up front.
And the shot from distance with his left foot from Ferguson was rather tame.
Mitoma ran forward, but then they run past Mitoma, running with the ball, and got the shape back so quickly. It's just a masterclass from Moisey, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Sometimes it's not pretty. It's certainly been effective today. And in the second half for them, they've hit the crossbar twice as well, and they're 3-0 up. Gross forward into the right channel. Lallana to Veltman. Here's Gross, drag it onto his right foot, shoots and scores. It's a sweet strike from Pascal Gross, who becomes Albion's top Premier League goal scorer with 27. But his focus is now to try and get Albion back into this game. They pulled one back, it's 3-1 to West Ham. They've got 10 minutes plus added on time.
Well, it's a shot from distance, isn't it? And that's what you have to do, Johnny. We've not done that. We've been trying to tippy-tappy football in and around the box for the last 10-15 minutes since we went 3-0 down. But sometimes you just have to pull the trigger. They're not going to block every shot. And there, it's gone in the bottom corner, giving the keeper no chance.
Well, I did say, Warren, didn't I? If they get one, you just never know. A little bit disappointed to see quite a few Albion fans already disappearing, really, but here come West Ham, up the middle of the pitch. Emerson. Sefal, no way he was going to get to that. It's a poor pass, but it's a mistake, and Albion maybe, just maybe, see an opening here. They said they'd only failed to score once. They now need to score 2 in the final. It's going to be at least 15 minutes. Here's Mitoma wriggling away from Paquetá, who must be tiring. João Pedro, he's lively, he's only just come on. Here's his Stupinian. And they beat some width. Just drags it back using Dunk. Apologises for not getting it wide, but Webster now. Veltman went inside. Adingra back to Veltman, a couple of yards outside the box on that right flank. Gross in field. Lewis Dunk moving the ball right to left. Stupinian to the edge of the D. Gross brings it into João Pedro. He shoots, that's deflected. Out for a corner.
You just have to keep pushing, don't you? And when you get in there on that box, pull the trigger.
But also, one, you talked about how hard the West Ham have worked. Maybe they'll start to tire. They're taking the corner short. Gross to João Pedro. Back to Gross again. Edge of the box. Estupinian. Gross, they're backing off him there. He's pushed Estupinian wide, but came off so foul. Well, Albion want a handball. Anthony Taylor says no, it's a natural position, I think, is the debate. Oh, well, certainly, he puts his hand, which is planted on the ground. Anthony Taylor's made his decision, though. And the way that he's doing it, well, Albion are going to take the corner quickly. Goes to Estupinian. Oh, came off his wrong foot and completely missed it. Just snatched at it. What do you think about the penalty shout, Warren? I'm just thinking, Lewis Dunk last week, with the last home game, came off his back and hit his hand in a similar position.
Yeah, but they're saying as you go to ground, to cushion the fall.
To your body?
Yeah,
so is it natural? Double change coming up for West Ham. Alvarez told to get off the pitch. Fornals is going to come on. I think that looks like Danny Ings as well.
Substitutes of West Ham. Coming up number 19, it's Alvarez.
And it looks like Bowen is going to make way to...
No, Bowen's I don't think he's coming off, but...
Oh, he's just getting instructions, isn't he?
Also coming off, number 10, Paquetá, being replaced by number 18, Danny.
Yeah, Paquetá, who we said was tiring, didn't we?
Yeah.
And probably spotted by David Moyes as well. So Danny Ings will come on.
So...
Shame, because Albion have built up a bit of a head of steam there. You can't be too critical of Purvis Estupinian, who's been so good at this season and at the end of the last. Now I make it, we've got 5 minutes left of normal time. We've seen a lot added on in these games. Webster forward with a header. Zuma away. Estupinian picks it up. Down the left channel. Here's Mitoma. I've been trying to get forward, but immediately West Ham behind the ball. João Pedro. It has looked lively since coming on. He's been given a free rein really to just move around the pitch on the edge of the box. His movement has been very good. Here's Mitoma trying to move Ward-Prowse away. Finds Pedro. Back to Mitoma. Immediately Anthony Taylor tells him to get up. Very quick, isn't he, Anthony Taylor, to make his decision, and usually that decision has gone against the Albion. I think, to be fair, Mitoma just runs into him, so I don't think Albion can have too many complaints there. Areola taking his time here. It's going to be a good 6 or 7 minutes, I would have thought, to be added on.
Yeah, we can get another one quickly, Johnny.
Yeah, that's what I say, you get one and then panic stations. Ings play into the middle. Fornals, another substitute, swinging it across the pitch to Ben Rama. Ben Rama, a little step over into the box. Lallana retreating. Veltman kept it in play. Stand fans wanting a corner. They're not going to get it. Veltman now needs a bit of help. He needs an out ball. Headed there by Ogbonna. Down to the left again. West Ham coming in from that flank. To the edge of the box. Bowen. Tackled by João Pedro. Did really, really well indeed. Can they get up the pitch quickly? They need to. They're running out of time. Estupinian onto João Pedro. Maybe a little bit of space for him to run into here. Estupinian coming up on the outside. João Pedro plays him in now. Left foot across the ball. Zuma there to the rescue again. How many blocks has he made today?
Yeah.
Estupinian, I think, did everything right. He was trying to find Ferguson at the back post.
Zuma's been excellent, hasn't he?
He has. Another short corner. João Pedro to Pascal Gross. Gross. Take it away from Bowen. He pulls it back for Pedro. Estupinian, left corner of the box. Little touch into Lallana. Little 1-2. Dink ball to the back post. Hit on the volley. Oh, what a save! Unbelievable. What a strike that was. Beautiful delivery. Roberto De Zerbi throws a piece of string on the ground in frustration. Albion fans frustrated. Ball back into the box. Again, it's Zuma who clears. Estupinian gets to the edge of the area. Trying to play in his teammate there. He's got it back though. He's looking a bit leggy as Bowen takes it away. Bowen fouled by Mitoma. That'll be a free kick. It'll probably be a yellow card as well.
Yeah, it's a wonderful save. That, and you can see the centre half going up to the goalkeeper. Just reaction save, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Good strike from Veltman.
Yeah, Joel Veltman very, very close to scoring there. He's actually scored. He scored in the game, didn't he? In the 4-0 win with his chest down that same end. And he thought maybe he got Albion in with a chance there. That would have teed it up very nicely indeed. Albion are still believing. Mitoma taking it forward. Ings trying to track back. Trying to get ahead of the defender who brings him down. Free kick. Ball kicked away, so Kehrer is booked. Knew what he was doing there. Mitoma in full flow. Into the middle. Oh, the referee's waiting to write down the name in the book. Gross. Forward to João Pedro, turns, edge of the box, slips it in. Lallana, oh, that full stretch, never got it under control.
Don't think he was expecting it, Lallana, was he?
No, not a bad ball.
To be fair, I think he's too scared of stretching.
Yeah, maybe because of the old hamstrings. Yeah, maybe. Forward it goes by Areola, straight down to his opponent's goalkeeper, Verbruggen. João Pedro's made a difference, Warren.
Yeah, he has.
I think his movement, he seems to have, I mean, maybe West Ham are tiring, but he seems to have found spaces into the final 60 seconds of normal time. Albion 3-1 down. There's Webster. Cross to the left. Dunk. Using Pedro again. He gets the return from Gross. Might have to do it all on his own here. He's chasing towards goal. He goes in, looking for the 1-2 from Mitoma. Too close to his man, but he's won it back. Brushes off Bowen. Good work there by Karu Mitoma. Strong play. Gross, wide left. Estupinian creeping into the box. Back to João Pedro. Thought about a shot. Turns onto his left side. Back on his right. clips it back post. Not put away there, but Bonner saw the second ball and volleyed it clear.
Again, reaction. So you send the forward, Ferguson.
On your toes, you need to be, don't you? Gross trying to seek out João Pedro. Gets in front of his man, came off the defender. Kera it was, to the right, so foul. Lumping it clear to halfway. Picks up by Webster. All eyes on the fourth official now.
That's for double figures, isn't it?
We'll wait and see. 6. Here's Estupinian on the left-hand side. Gets to the left corner of the box. Chipping it in. Took a deflection. Headed away. Beltman to the right. Adingra. Can he do something special here? Trying to pull it back to Gross. Fornals saw the danger and the angle ball. Out of play it goes. Albion throw. Taken quickly by Adingra. Lallana needs to turn. Get away from his man. A little short pass to Gross, who's approaching the middle of the pitch. Coming in from that right side. Back out it goes. Onto the right flank. Adingra. I'd like to see him take on his man if he can. Nothing to lose really at this stage of the game. Here's Dunk. On the left side of the box is Kaoru Mitoma. Taking on Sofal. 6. Back to Estupinian. Curling it back post. Again, no one's there. West Ham player first to it. João Pedro's first control was poor. Fornals tries to take it clear. Webster will have to go back and retrieve. Time running out for the Albion. 5 more minutes of injury time to be played here on BBC Radio Sussex. 3-1 Albion trail. What a comeback it would be if they could eke out another goal quickly. Here's João Pedro. Back to Mitoma, edge of the box, left side. Angle ball in there to Ferguson. Looks up, shoots. Oh, it's parried onto the crossbar. Hit with venom by Evan Ferguson. And Areola deflects it up onto the crossbar behind for a corner.
I think that's a great reaction and save, isn't it?
Well, really coming good, but is it too late? Got hold of that one, Evan Ferguson.
It's on for power, but
again, it's looking good. Maybe made it look better than it really was, but he won't care. David Moyes won't care. What can Albion do from the resulting corner? They're pushing hard. And then a shaky couple of minutes. If they can just score, someone to rise to the occasion here. Pedro near the near post. It's beyond him. Dunk is in there, heads across goal, it's headed over the bar on the goal line. I think it might be Danny Ings.
And that's going in, Johnny. We're right behind it. It's going in the top corner.
Second time Lewis Dunk has done well. As you say, back in far post. Oh, Lallana arriving, didn't time it. Out for a goal kick. Well, Danny Ings has saved West Ham there.
Took a dead leg, I think, off the goalkeeper as well. Great header.
Ferguson hits the crossbar and Dunk has a header cleared off the line. Only they could have got that first goal back a little bit earlier in the game. Only gave themselves 10 more minutes of normal time to come back. So we've now played 3 minutes of the 6 to be added on. Webster at the back. Can they get the ball forward? He has to play it back to Verbruggen. They'll learn their lessons, but they need to learn them fast because Newcastle came with a similar game plan last season and that 0-0 draw here at the Amex. I think we might expect more of the same because, of course, they've got pace on the break too. But Albion forward through Dunk, using Mitoma back into the middle. Gross trying to angle the ball into Lallana. Lets it run across his body onto his left foot. Across to Estupinian, showed too much of it there to Sofal, who clears. Chance here for Dunk, he'll hit it, and he'll hit it well over the bar into the North Stand.
I think that's just sort of sheer frustration from Lewis Dunk there. I think he was sick of giving it wide and getting no end product from it, so he thought he'd just pull a trigger. It's not for one to try, is it? I think West Ham have done excellent defending wise, haven't they? With the blocks they put in. The goalkeeper's had a stormer, hasn't he?
Yeah. Keeper's done well, Zuma's done well.
I think just the collectively work rate they've put in.
Yeah.
We found it hard. Like you said, possession that win your games. They won 3-1 last week with 24% possession. I think they're going to win 3-1 this week with even less possession.
There is lots of different ways to win a game of football. That's what they always say. They've had 19%, leading by 3 goals to 1.
That's what you do with the ball when you get in the box, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to give it away, and now Bowen will take it forward here to Ings. Webster just backing off. They need to try and get possession of the ball. West Ham happy to calm things down through James Ward-Prowse. Albion, who've had 25 shots, 10 on target, 5 off target. A total of 730 passes to West Ham's 171.
It's all in Brighton's favour, but the scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether Roberto will be despondent, but
David Moyes will be saying, look, it's about pulling the ball on the back of the net, isn't it?
Yeah, and they have taken their chances well. Albion, who have 4 saves from Areola, but they haven't really asked too much of him, really, for me today. He has the ball at his feet, the West Ham keeper.
Well, he's pulled off 3 good saves this half, but they've all been in reach, haven't they?
Yeah.
The last 2.
Bowen skips past Dunk into the box on the right side, edge of the area. Fornals doesn't want to shoot there, turns it back. Ward-Prowse thought about it. Now Fornals holding on to possession, getting it wide there to Sofal. Stringing a few passes together now, and shouts of Olé, which is a bit ironic, really, bearing in mind how many passes, or fewer passes they've had than the Seagulls in this game. Maybe they needed an Enciso today to unlock the door. I'm not sure anyone would have been able to, the way that West Ham have defended. And they're on the break here, no flag. Bowen is through. Good save by Bruggen, comes back to the edge of the area. Ben Rama with a chance, takes it away from the first defender, takes it wide. Webster forcing him out there. And the ball into the middle is picked up by Pascal Gross. Full time, Albion suffer their first defeat of the season at home to West Ham United. Their first victory over the Seagulls in 13 attempts. Behind by 1-0 at half-time from James Ward-Prowse, a close-range shot which had a bit of fortune about it despite Albion's dominance. But then Bowen doubling the lead before Antonio made it 3. They did pull one back through Pascal Gross, but in the end they were unable to break down this stubborn West Ham defence, an organised team limiting the space for Albion's attacking players, and David Moyes has his first victory against the Albion.
Yeah, he's 13th attempt, Johnny, and he's got it. Well, we said out of possession they were magnificent, West Ham. The work rate they showed to get the bodies back to defend. Even when they were 3-0 up, they was trying to, even when they were tired, he was doing it. Blocks, throwing the bodies on the line, and they got the just rewards. I think if you look at our defending, I think it was poor. The first goal's poor. The second goal.
In what way, though, Warren? Were they standing off too much? Were they worried about committing themselves and getting too tight in case someone like Antonio spanned them and turned them?
The first ball, Johnny, you can't. We try to do it all the time. We're trying to go back to the goalkeeper. He's off balance. He's trying to use his left foot. Put it into Roll's head. I think they're too frightened to do that now. First defending, get the ball out of play, and we'll regroup. We're under a bit of pressure here. Second goal, I think it is on the break, but Webster's too off the ball, so he just stands off him, lets Ben Rama put a great pass in, and for Bowen to finish it. And then the third one, Webster gets too tight, just left, right, turns him, and it's a wonderful finish. So it's poor defending for the goals. You can see all 3 goals were poor defending.
That was probably the worst. Is there any concerns about going forward, not being able to break a team down like that? Because it is going to happen again this season, isn't it? Whether it's Forest who did it last season, Newcastle did it last season.
It's like we were trying to score the perfect goal.
Yeah.
Is it? That's what gets me. You're 3-0 down and still passing around tippy-tappy football around the box, trying to get the perfect pass to have a tee it up for the perfect shot. No, do what he just done. Get the goal. Put your foot through it. And that's what he did to Pascal Gross. Got half a yard and shot. Sometimes it's hard. because you have to change things up when it's not working. Get the ball into the box earlier. Get your two centre forwards attacking the ball instead of keep coming short and short and short, laying it off, spinning, laying it off, spinning. They want to feed off crosses from wide areas as well, but at the moment, none. Solly March, I thought was his poorest game this season because he's just playing safe.
Yeah,
he didn't take his fullback on once.
No. Any positives to come out of any individual performances, perhaps? I mean, Gilmour seemed to have a good game before he came off. João Pedro made an impact since coming on. And, of course, we must mention Pascal Gross, who scored his 27th Premier League goal to surpass Mopé and Murray.
Well, yeah, he always wants it, Pascal Gross. He's never going to hide, is he? So that's one sure there. I thought Pedro, when he came on, looked lively. But, okay, they were tiring. Mitoma never gave up. But you're getting chances there to cross the ball, and you're giving up chances, aren't you? You come out and play again. We're trying to get the overlap or the underlap run and play him in all the time. Sometimes they're doubling up on you. Jarrett Bowen did excellent defending wise, and when he had the chance to get forward, he broke his neck to get forward, and it's a wonderful finish. And that's the difference, isn't it? When even in the 88th minute, we had they had a corner. We broke very quickly Mitoma on his own, but none of our players were backing Mitoma up. They had 7 players back, sprinting back, and said, right, then break us down now, and we couldn't.
Well, they're the thoughts of Warren Aspinall. Get your thoughts in. You can text us, tweet us this afternoon. Albion's first defeat of the season. Are there any positives to take from that? Any individual performances? Or maybe you want to comment about the value of Pascal Gross. We'll try and get your reaction before 8 o'clock this evening, but full time here at the Amex. It's finished Brighton Hove Albion 1, West Ham United 3.
Johnny and Warren, thanks very much indeed. So get your calls, texts and tweets in. Warren with us for about another 10 or 15 minutes here. If you want to give us a call here on BBC Radio Sussex. The Albion to their first defeat of the season, beaten 3-1 here by West Ham United. The Albion down to 4th in the Premier League. The reason West Ham fans are singing so much is they are top of the Premier League. Played 3, they've got 7 points. Then Tottenham and Arsenal, who drew 2 apiece with Fulham today. Brighton in 4th place in the Premier League. Newcastle, of course, coming up next week. So the final whistle coming your way here on BBC Radio Sussex, with the time just coming up to 28 minutes to 8 o'clock.
All the reaction from the big match. This is the final whistle.
BBC Radio Sussex.
So the Albion get beaten in their first home defeat of the season, or their first defeat of the season, beaten 3-1 here by West Ham United.
Oh, Verbruggen didn't come, and Antonio's onto it, waiting for help. Would he go for goal? No, sizes it up. Ward-Prowse, close range, tucks it away. A mistake at the back, and Ward-Prowse fires home from close range. Bowen making a beeline for the back post, curled in towards him now. Estupinian let him run, and he's paid for it. Jarrod Bowen took a touch, prodded it past Verbruggen, and West Ham double their lead. Antonio holding it up, spins away from Webster again, tucks it home. It's a fine finish, and surely it's curtains for the Seagulls, who trail by 3-0.
He swivelled Webster left for dead. Where's Webster going? He's got to get the shopping, Johnny, hasn't he?
Here's Gross, drag it onto his right foot, shoots and scores. It's a sweet strike from Pascal Gross, who becomes Albion's top Premier League goal scorer with 27.
BBC Radio Sussex.
Call 0800 232 1045.
BBC Radio Sussex.
Yes, the final whistle here on BBC Radio Sussex. Myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Warren Aspinall. We're here for another 25 minutes. Warren will be with us for about 10 minutes or so. Just before we talk about the Albion performance, Warren, that second goal from West Ham kind of summed up the performance. I have to say, I thought Jarrod Bowen was superb for West Ham today.
Yeah, not going forward. His defensive duties was excellent, weren't they? But it's a goal kick aimed to the right-hand side. It's gone over Estupinian. What he's done, he just played it forward, hasn't he? The third goal, the third goal.
Yeah.
He's played it into Antonio's feet. Antonio's went to swivel one way, came the other way. Webster has gone and done his shopping, hasn't he? He just went past him so easily. You have to laugh because it's a great bit of skill, strength, skill, and composure to finish. It's just wonderful football. But it's 3 touches.
Yeah.
So easy it is.
And actually, that Antonio goal, Warren, wasn't dissimilar to the one that he scored last week in the game against Chelsea. He's such a strong man.
Yes, he is. And he's ploughing a long furrow up there, isn't he? Takes some knocks, but he's just showing what he's capable of, isn't he? Can he do it all season? Probably not. So that's where they're going to fall short, I think, West Ham. But the second goal was they broke quickly on us, haven't they? And Webster again, he's held him up, but he has to get tighter. Ben Ramos just stopped him, looked up, and Jared Bowen is breaking his neck at the back post.
Yeah.
He's just, I think Stupian's lost him because he's run under needs the ball, and his first touch outside of his left foot, and he's tapped it in with the outside of his left foot, isn't it? It's a wonderful bit of
terrific finish,
composure again.
Yeah, it was.
Instead of we're trying to burst the ball when we're shooting.
Yeah, and it's the first time I've seen the Albion this season, Warren, and you obviously saw him at Molineux, you saw the first goal here against Luton. I just wonder, sometimes the Albion were outside of the box, but not prepared to have a go. You're disappointed. There was a couple of times Billy Gilmore had chances, and I thought, God, just hit it. But they seem to not want to walk the ball in, but I think you said in commentary, almost score the perfect goal.
I think we're trying to score the perfect goal, yes. I think we're trying to do the overlap runs, and sometimes underlap, where somebody runs inside and trying to play them in that way. But sometimes you're overcomplicating things. Just get half a yard and whip the ball in, cause these defenders problems. Everything was in front of these 2 centre-backs today, and the Alvarez just dropped in there, just made it comfortable for Ogbonna and Zuma. And we said, get the balls inside of them. The clumsy players, these two. But it's so comfortable today. Everything was in front of them.
Yeah. For all that, Warren, the Albion haven't had too many setbacks, have they? But I mean, West Ham clearly came with a game plan, and you and Johnny said in commentary, Newcastle coming here next week. I mean, one defeat, that's all it is. But aside beginning to work out how the Albion play, is this a test now for De Zerbi to think of different ways of playing, or is it just a bad day at the office?
I think it's a bad day. Sometimes you get in shots from edge of the box. Billy Gilmore had 2 blocked in the first half. I think on another day, the block could miss the block. It could hit him and go in, deflect past the goalkeeper. It's just one of those things. But if you don't shoot, you're not going to get any of these. Because I thought on occasion in the second half, I thought they could have put the foot through the ball to have a shot, but we gave it up.
James has been in touch on Twitter. He said, Hedge went down. What are you saying in the dressing room if you were De Zerbi, Warren?
What am I saying in the dressing room? Well, they showed a little bit of they showed fight always through the game, didn't they? To refer, the goalkeepers pulled off 4 or 5 good saves in the second half, but the first one from Ferguson, if that goes in, for me, it's a poor header. For me.
Oh, the header, yeah. Where
in the first minute of the second half,
yeah.
He's found space. He's about 7 yards out. He's headed the ball into the ground. Straight away it goes onto the grass. It's going to hold up, isn't it? And it's bounced at the right height, so the keeper just makes a dive, and it's too close to him anyway. So if he heads it into the top corner, the keeper's no chance of it, has he? Straight in, but he's made it easy for him. So then the goalkeeper's pulled off 2. Well, I'm not saying the instinct saves, but the good reactions from the goalkeeper, and lucky enough it's hit the crossbar and gone away. I think all the shots were a bit close to him. So I think the keeper's made some good saves, but they're all saves what he should do comfortably. I think sometimes he could have caught them instead of parrying them away, and I think he was playing for the cameras. But it's just you can't not say there wasn't the effort there. I think the effort's there when you think 25 shots, 10 on target to the 79%. So you can see, but Albion would just worried at the back because it's clumsy. When you're on top and they don't give you opposition a chance, there Webster, I think he's trying to be too clever. Just use your right foot, put it into. But he's trying to put it into knock it back to the goalkeeper.
A few messages, then we're going to hear from Yorkshire, Bill. One here says, converting their chances into goals. 26 shots with only 10 on target and just the 1 goal, creating well, conversion rate poor. A couple of comments you made in commentary where I was interested in, where there was a mistake by Areola when he dropped the ball in the first half, and you were saying that sort of striker's instinct. I mean, Evan Ferguson has a lot of press, a lot of very good press, but perhaps that nose for goal, the nose for the mistake that might be coming?
Well, the keeper's gone up to catch it, and Ferguson has got his back turned to the goal. He should be watching the goalkeeper. If he drops it, he's there for a little poke, isn't he? But he's not. He's sending not interested. You have to watch what the goalkeeper's doing all the time. So just the reactions in the box, instinct.
Heron's Place Goal says, need to get the centre midfield and attacking reinforcements in. I think this is a wake-up call that we need to show that we're not as good as we think we are, and yes, we actually need some of the Moises Caicedo fees to be reinvested. That's going to be a common theme, Warren, isn't it? People are going to say, I mean, it's only one defeat, and let's face it, you know, Albion had plenty of chances in the game, so it's not the end of the world. But people are going to say, you know, does the squad need strengthening? Where does it need strengthening? And the Albion have got a lot of money from these transfers over the past few weeks.
Yes, they have, and we know where he's transferring. The manager knows where it needs strengthening. I think there's a midfield player will be coming in, because we've lost two, if you think, Caicedo and McAllister. We brought Dahoud in, but that's only one in, isn't it, for the two? So you need to bring another one in, and I think they've singled that out, haven't they? And I think we'll get that one over the line. And Cissé's a bit of a different now, isn't he? He's gone out, he's injured, so do we need another attacking player? Probably, yeah. So we were looking for one of them.
Could be a busy week, Warren. At the let's hear from Yorkshire Bill. Warren's only here for another a few minutes. So Yorkshire Bill, welcome to the final whistle here on BBC Radio Sussex. What would you like to say?
Well, some of the comments that Warren made, I was going to say. I mean, he's got it bang on. We had lots of possession, lots of shots, but the shots weren't good. They were pretty poor at times, to be honest. And we sort of kamikaze style football at times as well. We're so open at the back when we're attacking. It's very disappointing. I've got to say I'm very disappointed, because you shouldn't have that amount of possession and not win. And you shouldn't have that amount of shots and not win.
But in fairness, Yorkshire Bill, you think of the way the Albion played last season, the way they played against Luton, the way they played against Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's been tremendous football. This is it'd be wrong to be critical, wouldn't it, of the Albion today?
No, you can't be too critical. I mean, it's going to be one of those games. I mean, we're attacking, and then we're wide open at the back. We get caught out. Not once, not twice, but 4 or 5 times. We were lucky they only got 3, to be honest. They could have had 6. We could have had, if you want for their goalkeeper, we could have had 4 or 5. I mean, it's one of those games, backwards and forwards, but at times we lose the plot. We lost the plot. You know, I mean, it's sad, really. Some of the players that, you know, we should be taking some of these chances. These chances we're creating, we should be putting them in, punishing the opposition. Get the goals and then takes the pressure off the team. But if you're not scoring, that's what it's all about.
It's about putting the ball in the back of the net, and yes, it is disappointing, but you have to take your hat off to West Ham, how they defended. Yeah. We've had 25 shots, but I bet, well, there is 15 of them have been blocked. It's just one of the situations. Last week they did it. Was Chelsea? They had. Chelsea had more possession, and they were down to 10 men, West Ham, and they go and win that one 3-1. So they're doing something right. They're making it hard for these big teams, and we are a big team. We create lots of chances, but sometimes you have to put your foot through the ball a little bit better.
Yorkshire Bill, thanks very much indeed for calling us here on the final whistle. Keith from Southwick is on the phone. Good evening, Keith.
Yep.
Hello, Keith. Can you hear us?
Hi, I can hear.
Yeah, what would you like to say to Warren Aspinall?
I think difficult game. I think certainly we can't be too critical. You know, we played some superb football on the back of RDZ, and you know, this is just a bad day at the office, and I'm sure that we'll bounce back from it. But I don't know if it's the case of the change in the goalkeeper. I certainly don't blame our new keeper, but certainly we play that high reward, high risk at the back, and there didn't seem to be much of that today. So I think we can build up the play like we have been doing, and that's maybe a bit of a downfall. But credit to West Ham, you know, they come with a game plan, and they may be difficult to us, and we know how well they played against Chelsea last week and what they did, Yeah, I think it's a tough one to swallow. It was disappointing, but let's keep everything in perspective. It's only the third game of the season.
Just before you go, Warren, what interesting there we're talking about Vartberg. What I mean, looking at the goals, I don't think you could blame him for any of those goals. Could you today?
No, you can't, can you? If you think back pass, it's been under it, so he's through, isn't he? And a bit of a luck from Ward-Prowse. It's gone off Billy Gilmore's back and then just running for him, hasn't it? So he's got a tap in there. Second one is Webster's been isolated 1-against-1. He needs to close Benrahma down a little bit quicker. He's held him up. He's done that okay, but then you have to go towards the ball. He's let him cross it. Estupiñán's run underneath the ball, and Bowen, he's just great first touch, second touch in the back of the net, so he's got no chance with that one. Third one, Webster has done his shopping. He's gone left, he's gone right, and he's left Webster for dead, hasn't he? He used his strength, and then it's a composed finish. So the goalkeeper's probably that's all he's had to do. He's picked the ball out 3 times out of his back of his net.
Keith, just stay where you are for a moment. Just follow a quick question to you, Warren, before you go. Newcastle coming next week. You and Johnny were saying in commentary Newcastle might set up in a similar way as they did here last week. They went away with a 0-0 draw. Are you concerned at that at all, that sides maybe thinking this is the way to play against the Albion, particularly here at the Amex?
Well, if it is, Zerbi has to just be a bit wary of leaving the 2 centre-backs isolated. Because, yes, both full-backs want to get forward and do the overlapping, underlapping, to make it 2-against-1 situations. But we couldn't do that today. Jarrett Bowen worked his socks off to make it 2-against-2. And on the other side, he did the same, didn't he, to help Emerson on that side. So it was hard. But when they break, they only had the big lad up front, Antonio, to Webster and Dunk, but he caused them problems. He dragged them all over the place, didn't he? And it was too easy. But when they broke with pace and got forward, and their finishing was excellent. Sometimes we're trying to burst the ball, trying to bang it into the net. Sometimes you show a bit of composure, trying to put it into a corner. You don't have to strike it all the time. I think that's a great strike from Adam Ferguson, but there's probably a better option to put it into the corner. Pascal Gross showed how to do that. He whipped it into the bottom corner. Keepers got no chance. So yeah, it's one of those days, and you have to put it behind you. But I'll be a bit wary if we leave ourselves isolated, because when we had Caicedo, he would be one of them people who would come across and help you out, because he's got the patience to do that. If we leave ourselves there with them two, and the fullbacks have gone forward, and Pascal Gross and Gilmore, they're not the quickest, are they, over the 10, 15, 20 yards, so they're not going to get across to stop these forwards of the opposition getting forward. And that's what we have to be worried about.
Warren, thanks very much indeed. I know you're going to go. Thanks very much indeed. We'll look forward to seeing you. Don't forget not the final whistle, Albion Unlimited, coming up on Tuesday night on BBC Radio Sussex. You can listen to that between 9 and 10 o'clock, also available as a podcast. Keith, are you still with us?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, hi Keith. I was just going to say to you, I mean, clearly it's disappointing today, but how much of that disappointment is around the fact that the Albion have been so good, certainly since Roberto De Zerbi. The expectations are just really high. Actually, was it a little disappointing? I don't know if you're in the ground. A lot of people left before the final whistle, which was a bit of a shame today, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. It's about getting behind the team, isn't it? And you can have a bad day, and you can have an off day, but we need to be with him. He's done tremendous for the team, for the club. And we play some really good football, and sometimes you just have to give it to the opposition that they did a number today and they've done their homework, and we should learn from that and make sure that if other people do come round doing the same thing, that we've got answers for it.
Yeah, interesting as well that Warren mentioned there Moises Caicedo, who's, we all know he's gone, but I just wonder in a game like that, interesting point Warren made, that perhaps when West Ham were breaking, you realise how much the Albion, what a good player Caicedo was and how well he did for the Albion since he was here. And I guess the question that raises is, do the Albion need a Caicedo type player? Is that sort of player in the squad, or do they need in this last week of the transfer window to go and buy somebody?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we knew we were going to miss him, and it's going to be a tough season without a player of his capability and his prowess, and everything he done for us last season was fantastic. So yeah, I think we definitely do need to dip back in, and I think De Zerbi knows that, and he's been quite open in relation to that. But it's about finding the right player in this overinflated market that we're seeing again this season.
Yeah, it is an overinflated market. I guess one of the issues might be as well that anyone that the Albion are looking to buy, they'll say, well, hang on, the Albion have got plenty of money in the bank, and so they're going to hang on for the best price, which I guess is the way that transfers have been done throughout this window, Keith.
Yeah, absolutely. But there isn't many people better than Tony Bloom to kind of get be on the right side of the table if you're going to come and have a conversation with them.
No, absolutely. Well, not the end of the world. Keith, thanks so much for your call. Good to hear from you as Jared Bowen just makes his way around the pitch. I thought he was tremendous today for West Ham. Scored the second goal, and he's just being interviewed by the people on Sky TV away to our left-hand side. Peter's been in touch. He says it seems the Albion have been brought back to earth today. A combination of excellent defending and superb shot stopping denied them. Not for want of trying, though. That's Pete from Woodingdean. Thank you, Pete, for getting in touch. James says 81% of the possession counts for nothing when you're up against a side that knows the secret of beating you is getting 10 men behind the ball and hitting you on the break. A similar story to the game against Everton last May when we had 78% of the possession. James, thanks very much indeed for getting in touch here on BBC Radio Sussex. The final whistle here. We're on air till 8 o'clock this evening, and we hope to have some reaction. Johnny Cantor is down in the tunnel. We hope to have some reaction from you or from Johnny before we go off air at 8 o'clock. Just to remind you of the other scores of the Premier League in case you missed them. The early kick-off finished Bournemouth 0, Tottenham 2. Arsenal finished 2 apiece with Fulham. Fulham down to 10 men, coming back from 2-1 down to draw 2 apiece. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1. Everton losing again, beaten by Wolves by a goal to 0 at Goodison Park. Manchester United coming from 2 down to beat 10-man Nottingham Forest by 3 goals to 2. And in terms of where that leaves the table, well, West Ham, top of the table, played 3. They've got 7 points, followed by Tottenham and Arsenal. So the London clubs dominating the top 3 positions. Then come the Albion, played 3 on 6 points, still in 4th place in the Premier League. Down at the bottom, Everton bottom, 3 games, no points. Then Luton and Burnley have only played the 1 game. You're listening to the final whistle here on BBC Radio Sussex. The time 8 minutes to 8 o'clock. Final whistle here on BBC Radio Sussex. We're hoping to get some reaction before we go off air at 8 o'clock from Roberto De Zerbi and the Albion camp. Let's get some reaction from 1 or 2 of the other Premier League games played today. Manchester United coming from 2 goals down to beat Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford by 3 goals to 2. Here's their manager, Erik ten Hag.
Horror start, but then the character of the team was brilliant. Stay so calm, stay so composed, get back in the game, stick to the belief, stick to the plan especially, and then you see we played some very good football, scored 3 good goals. So a brilliant comeback.
Before the game, you mentioned how Forest are dangerous, and they proved that in that opening period, didn't they? They really stunned you.
Oh, no, but with all the respect from Forest, but we can't allow them this. And so easy giveaways. We have to do our jobs, and we didn't. We were there in the duels and not running with our opponents. And we had a set play, and then the second unnecessary foul, and also then again. They get a goal from that set play. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, sometimes games are going like this. As I said, we stayed calm.
Locally, defeat for Crawley Town today, beaten 6-0 at the county ground Swindon. Crawley down to 13th in League 2 after a really good start in National League South. Another good win for Worthing, who are top of National League South. They've won 2-0 at the Crabble against Dover, but disappointment for Eastbourne Borough. They've been beaten by Truro by a goal to 0 at home today. Not a good start for Eastbourne Borough. They're 4th bottom of the league. We hope to hear from Scott Lindsay in a few moments' time. And indeed, we hope to get some reaction from here at the Amex as well. Let's carry on our Premier League reaction. Brentford and Crystal Palace shared the spoils, 1 apiece today. Let's hear from the Brentford manager, Thomas Frank.
Was a point about right in the end?
Yeah, probably fair enough in a very even game. I thought that we were better in first half than Crystal Palace without being fantastic, but better. I thought we were the dominant side that was on the ball, that pressed high, scored a fantastic goal. Really tried to go for that second one, but couldn't produce it. Second half, I think we started well. And then I think combination of Palace is a good side, maybe a little bit too passive, probably couldn't keep the ball well enough. So we got a little bit deeper, too deep I felt in spells. But I think besides the great header, as a good header and a great save from Mark Flick and that double chance-ish, I think we gave nothing away. That's why I was disappointed in the way we conceded the goal, because it's one of those avoidable, I would say. But of course I need to take a decision quick, and unfortunately we conceded that. That's why I think we have a little bit more disappointing. Yeah.
Finished Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1. So disappointment for the Albion today. They've been beaten by 3-1 against West Ham United. 4th now in the Premier League. The Hammers top of the table after that victory. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for all your calls, texts and tweets. We'll do it again next Saturday when Newcastle United are the visitors here. But for myself, Adrian Harms, thanks to Johnny Cantor and to Warren Aspinall. And we'll be back with you on Tuesday for the next edition of Albion Unlimited. But from me, from the Amex, a very good night.